Welcome to the stream, by the way. You know the vibes. Go crazy with it. Let's talk about it, though, chat. Go crazy with it. You know the vibes. Shout out to the 6 people that's watching. You know the vibes. Go crazy with it. Sheesh. Just warming up, chat. Shout out to the three. You know the vibes. Go crazy with it. But yeah, chat. Let's talk about it. Go cool. Is you cool? What's the word, chat? Let me know who's in the building. Shout out to the three.
I took off the headphones and stopped listening to the coach.
That's what I do. I like having dope-ass conversations.
Run from the police. I thought it was admirable to go to juvie. I thought it was something to go to prison because the culture promoted it. So when I turned off the television and stopped watching the culture, when I took off the headphones and stopped listening to the culture, I started looking at my uncle been to prison, my granddaddy been to prison, every man in my family been to prison, but ain't nobody came back and said nothing bad about prison. They actually make it sound bravado and fun. When I spend a night over my buddies' houses, so the culture, the environment, say, okay, nigga, this is it. So what do niggas tell me online? Nigga, you couldn't have made it on the yard. So you take away my stripe as a man because you think I couldn't have made it in prison. That's what we push to the kids, nigga, when you see how a nigga die. When the regular nigga die, his funerals don't look like that.
Yo, Charleston, look, let me say this right real quick, Charleston. I want you to help me on this play. Now, we got all these people in here. We got Wack in here. And by coincidence, we got your principal here. Now, both of these fellas is from the same area. Me and Wack, we had...
Hey, bro, I'm not having that conversation about you principal. I'm not doing that. Period. I'm not doing that.
All I'm trying to say is that y'all willing to have a conversation beyond that.
Hey, bro, I'm going to say it like this.
Listen, I don't know the guy. See,
no, I'm talking to Wack. I'm talking to Wack, and I'm talking to
Well, but I'm saying, like, you from New York, right?
That's a fact.
You can't politic nothing out here, bro.
Let me just say this.
Leave that where it's at, homie.
Let me just say this, homie. I accidentally chimed in the Wack's room, right? I just got on here, homie. He didn't know I was listening. So I heard what he said. That's a stand. That's an unpopular stance. But nigga, we gonna be straight up, homie. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Right is right, wrong is wrong.
Listen. Look. From your mental and the stand you take. See, I'm one of those dudes that I know how to take one of my shoes off and put one on and see the difference on why motherfuckers saying what they saying, right? So nobody that's standing on the other side of the street is gonna agree with you. See, they don't understand that you have taken a stand to denounce anything that got to do with a motherfucking gang. And you could have a joke where you would push a motherfucking button and any nigga that's gang banging nigga there disappear. I get where you at. And because that's where you at, you gonna speak against it every chance that you have. This is something I know, right? So my thing is to you is if you are for the change of our people, right? Well, shit, man, when you gonna start using your voice to try to promote the change of the people, then you kind of promote more hatred because you know what you're doing. The niggas is hating you for it, even though you saying some real shit when it comes from your book on where you stand, right? All niggas in the gang ain't doing bad shit. I'm here to tell you that. It's some niggas they hustling, but they helping at the same time. Everybody ain't out here, shooting the next nigga. Some of these niggas ain't never shot a nigga dead in their life. They just hustlers and they helping their families or whatever there is going on. You know what I mean? You know that.
Let me ask you a question. I do, fam. That's how I got on the gang niggas. From actually using my voice and my platform. So let me tell you how I started. I started in the churches, talking to the youth congregations. From the churches, I went into the juvenile facilities. From the juvenile facilities, I went into the middle schools, the high schools, the alternative schools. From the high schools, I started teaching a class at the adult parole office, the central unit, every Tuesday and Thursday. From there, I started speaking at college universities. From there, I started getting into politics, working with legislation and changing laws, working from state to state with national. So we got Jews. So as I'm doing this, I'm saying what I'm saying now. I'm just not cussing. I'm not smoking weed because I don't want to. I'm trying to go to Dr. King rap. So, but I'm not trying to be seen, right? So I'm doing all this work. So when I come back to the hood to implement the youth programs in the hood, one of the old niggas give me a building. So I turn a gambling shack into a youth center. So as I'm feeding the kids, I'm seeing the gangbanging niggas. Oh man, this bitch ass nigga. Oh man, he got these kids down here. So I started out talking to my local Crips and Bloods. I ain't never said nothing about Cali. When I went to
nigga, you been waiting on Cali, boy.
Listen, I'm finna take you to there. Nigga, if you go back and look, I posted something today, nigga. 4 years ago, I said California pimped on you niggas. I've always paid homage because my slogan was that's California gang. I moved to Cali, and I realized, say, homie, that gang culture supersedes everything in California. You niggas outside of California really ain't Crips and Bloods because y'all can retire. Them niggas really can't retire, homie. Y'all really
Partner body cannot.
So let me bring you to where we at today, right? So I'm paying homage on every social media platform. Now, homie, them California niggas, that's their game, homie. So when I got into it with the Asians, see around here, I call these niggas crabs and slobs around here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. They been used to this. Right? So the California niggas started looking at my videos, hearing me call these local niggas crabs and slobs. So now I'm into it with the Asian people. Say, homie, it fucked me up and it hurt me to see them California Asians go national, homie, calling me niggas, and no black people from California stood up, homie. And they called me Crip. Hey, homie, that crushed my soul as a nigga. That's where my...
So you expect a nigga that you didn't...
No. Hold on.
I don't understand.
Hold on. Not that I'm disrespecting. To understand the fact that they got Asian Crips. They got Asian Crips that kill niggas. And they on a platform with niggas saying, niggas, I hadn't disrespected California then. I hadn't disrespected nobody from Cali then. Now it's fuck them California niggas riding with them Asians. Now, nigga, where I'm from, nigga, if the nigga wrong, we gon' be wrong with the nigga. We deal with the nigga later, but we ain't standing with these people, not against no nigga.
Say, Charleston, I got a quick question.
We with niggas, homie. We ain't standing with nobody.
Are you saying that they was supposed to...
I ain't saying nothing, homie. All I'm saying is, just like everybody has something to say about what I'm saying, it was supposed to be an outrage in the hip-hop community, nigga, with a bunch of Asians on there saying nigga.
But what if, I'm saying, but if this Asian put in all this work with me... And
say, homie, but he put in work with you against the other niggas. He ain't put in work against his people.
But that's one person, that's one.
Nah, homie, nah. You done committed treason, nigga, if you put in work with an Asian against your own people.
No, I'm from Chicago.
Was that what you just said? What if this Asian put in work with me? You ain't putting in no work with no Asian against no Asian.
He's saying if you ain't went with that Asian to put in some work on some Asians, and you took that Asian to put in work on black people, that's all he's saying. He ain't
nigga, you done committed treason. Man, you don't want to hear nothing.
What if you in a community that never grew up around Asians? So are those people supposed to go seek out an Asian?
I'm not understanding what you're asking me, brother.
If you grew up in a neighborhood that never seen an Asian before, how can you...
Most niggas ain't seen Asians. Asians ain't got no business calling no nigga, not where we from. No, nigga is exclusive to niggas. No, everybody can't be nigga. Grandmama and them still alive, my nigga.
No, I agree with that.
Listen, homie, we still got 80-year-old grandmamas, nigga, they still alive. No, so what I'm saying is, these Asians went viral. A bunch of Asian Crips. So in my mind, who do Asian Crips bang on? Asian Bloods?
No, it ain't no Asian Bloods.
That's what I'm talking about, homie. So I didn't know that. Listen, homie, y'all got to understand, homie. I didn't know there was no such thing. I didn't know it was no such thing as Mexican Crips and Asian Crips.
Niggas bang on niggas. In Chicago, Latinos bang on Latinos. Niggas
say, homie, I don't know nothing about Chicago, so I can't speak on that. All I know is, homie, if we go beat up each other, can't nobody join in with us. And I'm saying, when I found out California gangs let other ethnicities join in with them to kill niggas, homie, I say fuck them California niggas. They'll let a Mexican join in with a nigga. They'll let a Samoan, an Asian to join in and kill a nigga? Nah, homie, you gotta stay out of this. Oh, no, matter of fact, let's turn on him.
Say, Charleston, I'm a Mexican myself. And I got a question on that myself. You know, what's the problem with the Mexicans? I remember, if I remember clearly, in the beginning, you said you respected the Southern California Mexicans and what they were doing.
I respect everybody, but this is what I'm saying. Nowhere.
Nah, you said you killed white Mexicans, bro.
Listen, nigga, I grew up.
Exactly.
Grew up killing whites and Mexicans. But this is what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying, homie. I got Mexican partners. What I'm saying is, nigga, if we gonna fight against anybody, we need to fight a Mexican or a white boy first. And what I'm saying is, nowhere in nature. Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish.
Okay.
Nowhere in nature do you see a red bird and a blue bird flying together. Nowhere in nature.
Okay.
Nigga, everything's supposed to be
my question is, are we included in this? Or are we?
Man, a Mexican ain't got no nigga speaking in it. We talking about nigga on nigga. Unless you
but you did say Mexican.
Well, this what I'm saying, homie. Do y'all bang against the Mexican gang? Cause y'all bang. They don't Mexican do bitch niggas bad.
Oh no.
They say don't Mexicans. Ain't it some Mexicans don't like niggas?
Oh, of course, it's a lot of.
So goddamn it, let's get with it then, nigga. Race against race. It's some niggas don't like Mexicans. So what are y'all talking about, my nigga?
My point is,
listen, homie. It's some Mexicans. Listen, homie, it's some Mexicans. If they get a chance, they'll kill a nigga. They in prison. So come on, homie, what you talking about? This ain't your conversation. This nigga talk, S.A. And listen, I would much rather say this, homie. I come up in an era where niggas fought Mexicans, niggas fought white boys, niggas fought Mexicans and whites. Nobody joined in to fight nigga on nigga.
So what
the Mexican and white boys joined in to fight us, but we don't let nobody join in to help us. We die losing before we let anybody else join in to help us.
The Norteños help.
I don't know nothing about that, homie. All I know is Crip and Blood. I don't know nothing about Norteños.
But my question is,
man, you taking me somewhere I don't know nothing about though, S.A.
Are we gonna cut? But you gotta know about this. This is just speaking as a human. Niggas
ain't never been humans. They ain't never treated niggas like humans. Don't come to me with human talk the way niggas have been done in America, man.
I'm treating you like
man, you wasn't saying that when they killed Tamir Rice.
I'm treating you as a human right.
You ain't got now post nigga where you were talking like that when they killed Tamir Rice.
Are we gonna come through as a people, as a human?
No.
As human.
Divide and thrive. Niggas over here, black folks over there, wetbacks over there. Pisces over there, Mexican Americans over there, Jews over there, nation against nation. Nigga, Dr. King tried that shit. It didn't work. No, nigga.
Hey, Charleston, look. I know you fucked up with me, though. Hold on, let me speak right quick. I'm not here to bash you, but I'm here to talk about your contradiction. You ready, brother? So listen, this is where your hold on, no, wait.
Hold on.
Hey, look, hey, check this out. I don't want to argue with you.
Nigga can't speak on my contradiction. Nigga, we all contradict. Every nigga alive is a contradiction.
We live in a cycle of it, but this was you, Wack.
Hey, Wack.
Charleston, let him ask a question.
Hey, Wack, you feel like
hold on. Get about my contradictory. I'm telling you, I get on here to lie and bullshit. Nigga, I'm not on here to be a truth teller. They don't pay for truth tellers. I'm telling y'all, nigga, I'm on here bullshit with a Dolomite carry.
He lit on the stage.
Oh, okay, so that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all this, homie, I'm broke it. I'm keep just saying, homie, I really do what y'all trying to ask me to do in real life. That's why you don't see nobody
you. Nigga, I don't know what you do. I just want to ask you a question.
Nigga, why you want to talk about my contradictor then, nigga? That's
why you saying two different things.
Just listen to it if you don't know me then, nigga. If you don't know me, why you want to know?
Hey, look, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't get that shit. Man, I just sit back and listen to the nigga and wouldn't have nothing to say, homie. I ain't one of them niggas listen to a nigga tell lies.
I'm not trying to bash you. I just wanted to ask you a question about my homie.
I'm listening. Go ahead, my nigga.
I just wanted to ask you a question about my homie Slim. That's it.
Go ahead.
So my whole thing to you, brother, was you said something about the dead, right? That had nothing to do with you. I just wanted to ask, did you ever meet that brother? I had a confrontation with him for you to say rest in peace to this brother like you was his enemy. As a black man, hold on, wait. You said you wasn't taught to fight black men or go against black men, right? You go across the road.
The gang
Okay, so hold on, I'm not a gangbanger. I'm not a gangbanger, brother. So at the end of the day, all I'm saying to you is your contradiction to me is like double-sided. That's some retarded shit.
Well, let me ask you a question, brother.
Go ahead.
When I was introduced to gangbanging, it killed that mindset to go across the railroad track for much fun of getting your own people. So,
okay, but you
to answer your question about, hold on. I just answered your question, man. I just answered your question, man. So, to answer your question about Slim, I don't know the guy, never heard his music, never knew who existed. I was asked a question about the guy. Is he a gang member? Yeah, you're a gang member. Fuck him. That's any gang member, homie, not just your homie. Any gang member. I believe when gang members die in that manner.
Hey, but this was fucked up at with me. That was a man first.
I don't know that. You just made my point. Listen, homie, listen, fam, listen to me. That you just made my point. We don't know the man, we just know the rapper.
He doubled back and said the man's name.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, fam? When I just knew the rapper, man, fuck that nigga. So let me go look at this nigga. Vincent. His dad was in the military. Nigga, fuck that rapping nigga. Homie, that's what he give off. So if this rapper killer give off this image as he's a killer, we supposed to have empathy for him? He done gave off this image. So when do we cry when the gangsters die? The Italians don't do it. The mafia, the cartel members don't do it. So what the fuck are these black gang members crying at funerals for? Nigga, it come with the light. You singing it, you rapping about it, you living it. You promote it, you embrace it. You encourage it. You reaping what you have sown, Slim. And it cost Vincent his life. See, we all got a dual nature, homie, that we fight against. They call them demons. You know what you do in the dark there. Don't nobody know what you do but you, God, and the devil. We all got to pay, homie. And the sad thing about...
So you was a part of a gang once yourself, right?
Homie, listen, you keep missing the point. I joined as a kid inside of an institution.
It don't matter if you're a kid or not.
Listen, homie, listen.
Don't matter what
Listen, homie, we was having one-on-one fights. We wasn't killing nobody.
What generation you get?
Man, listen, I was a kid, homie. I was 14 years old.
Gang, though, right? It don't matter what age you was.
Just to correct you, Charles,
hold on a second.
Slim 400 did not die gang banging. That was not a gang bang.
Straight up, nigga, what?
That killed him.
Nah, but yo, Gambler, if you gonna ask the question, bro. Let's not.
No, I'm not bashing him, bro. I'm just asking a question.
I'm just saying, let's not turn it into a shallow match because we got other people that want to ask questions.
Hey, listen, for the record, Slim 400 did not die gang banging. He was a Compton Papoose. A Compton Crip didn't kill him. That was some personal shit going on. If you do your research, he got killed at his baby mama house. You do your research on who the other individual is, you'll see that's some family type orientated shit going on. Dude didn't come kill Slim because Slim shot at him. He was a Crip or he a blood. So Slim did not die gangbanging. Just to clarify that. He didn't die in his neighborhood. He didn't die in the other dude's neighborhood. None of that. So, you know, me, I know Slim. Slim really fuck with everybody. If you go to Instagram, you see Compton Crips, you see all kind of Crips putting up pictures of Slim. You see Bloods, Papoose, you see regular people, comedians, actors, everybody that knew him. Dude was a real, you know, charismatic dude. So he didn't die gangbanging, homie, just for the record.
Yo, I got a quick question, if I may.
Thank you for clearing that up, big bro.
I got a quick question.
What is that?
Yeah, I just want to know, like, Charleston, like, the way you coming off, your delivery and everything, I hear what you saying, but is you ready to put on, like, you rubbing motherfuckers the wrong way, like, if shit don't go your way when you run into somebody, how you gonna handle that?
He already told you what he gonna do. If he can't shoot you, he gonna
It's your mic, boy, Charles. So unmute your mic.
We already told the nigga what he gonna do.
Nah, you can't be saying fuck somebody and then saying you calling them goddamn police.
Nigga, he already said it. If he can't kill you first, you tell it. But you better have 13 masks on, nigga.
You ain't never met these men a day in your life. Why would you say fuck these niggas and rest in peace?
He say fuck all gang members. That's his movement.
Yeah,
That's been his movement.
It's easy. It's just like the average.
I'm a gang member. He said fuck me. I'm a, you know.
But listen, homie, listen. Hey, listen, homie. It's easy to say fuck a nigga, because we all say fuck a nigga when we don't know a nigga. We all say that. We all say. We all say fuck a nigga when we don't know a nigga. But let me ask you a question, fam. I travel around the country with no security and no gun, my nigga. So I got to be willing to stand on it, homie. And I go to niggas' hoods. I'm out at any public events, so I got to be willing to stand on it, homie. If I'm out in public, I got to know what comes with this.
God damn it, no blood, no foul.
Ain't no real niggas doing that shit, bro. You can't stay with me.
Hey, homie, listen. Listen, homie, when I'm in the airport, when I'm in the club and the bar, it's real niggas somewhere. When I told them Marvin's face and Melvin's face, they didn't do nothing. They had already heard me say what they said I can't say.
Don't senior citizen.
I wouldn't give a damn.
Yo, who else got a question, man? Anybody else?
I wouldn't give a damn.
Hey, what's going on?
One thing I know, homie, listen, one thing I know, the average nigga don't have bond money. The average nigga don't have lawyer money. Nigga is the enemy and the op that he can throw his life away for who killed his homie. They ain't throwing it away.
But Nipsey and bro,
man, ain't nobody broke into the jail to kill that nigga that killed him. Ain't nobody broke in jail. Ain't nobody broke in jail to kill the nigga that killed him. Ain't nobody broke in jail to kill the nigga that killed him.
All this
say, homie, listen, hey, homie, ain't nobody broke in jail to kill the nigga that killed him. Did nobody jump in front of the bullet like they do the president? Nigga, when that nigga fired them shots, everybody took off running.
This nigga crazy. You crazy as shit.
Yeah, nigga, the president, nigga, got people. Say, homie, let me tell you something, nigga. When, what's that mother, El Chapo Jr.? Nigga, he got arrested in a Mexican tank by the Mexican army. All these people came and shouted out with the Mexican army and made them motherfucker release him. Until you niggas get bad like them niggas, man, be quiet. Ain't no nigga got to that nigga in jail that killed them. Ain't no nigga pausing them. None of that, homie. They don't even talk about it. They don't even condemn him. Nigga, how y'all let the stove close if you love him so much? How y'all let the stove close? Nigga, get a fat burger, nigga. Show us, don't tell us.
Yo,
you still ain't.
Yeah, you niggas paint pictures on the wall, nigga. Ain't no more marathon t-shirts.
You still ain't proving no point by saying.
I ain't trying to prove no point, homie. I'm not trying to prove no point. We have a dialogue.
They told me just the character. So is you talking serious or is you playing right now?
Oh, nigga, what you mean? Am I talking serious or am I playing?
You just told me you a character, nigga. You told me you was a character, so I don't know.
So why you asking then? Why you asking then, nigga? Why you asking then, nigga? Yeah, why you asking then, nigga? Yeah, fool ass nigga, what you asking for? I done already told you.
We're gonna get some new people up. Hey, yo, Alamo, what you got to say, bro?
Searching for confusion, man. Let the man speak.
Yeah, this nigga, I done already told you I'm in character. You gonna come back and try to get me out of character, huh? No, nigga, you getting played on, not me.
Yo, Alamo, you had a question. Yo, Jay, you had a question. Which one of y'all who gonna go first?
Nah, it's Alamo. I don't think he's saying nothing wrong. I think everybody just got a problem with the delivery. But like they say, the truth hurt, and before you make a change, you're gonna have to get to that nerve to make any type of change to anybody what he talking about. So, you know what I mean? But it's disrespectful to a lot of people, and I feel because a lot of people is hurt behind that. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. And I think that's what people fight for more than anything.
Hey, what's going on? This is my first time in Info Mass. I was just chiming in to actually talk to Charleston White a little bit and, you know, get a little perspective of how he coming. I'm from Chicago.
You know what I'm saying? So when he be talking about the things that he be talking about, sometimes it be true. Because, see, I'm not in a gang. I'm from an organization. So the Bloods and the Crips, yeah, they gangs. They want to be the gangbangers of America. They call themselves the gangbang capital of America. I don't agree with that. I let them have that. You understand what I'm saying? But as far as the things that he's saying, he's very correct. I'm from Chicago. I have never went against a white boy. Have never thought about shooting a white boy, but I can shoot a nigga though. You see how simple that is? It's just that simple. But the delivery that he giving, it is raw, and we supposed to listen to it because it has a real message to it. It's a message that if we understand what he's talking about, it resonates with everybody on this platform, from gangbangers to people that want to be in the gang to people that don't want to be in the gang. See, that's why we on this platform. We trying to figure something out right now. We're not really worried about how he be talking about the Bloods and the Crips and Melvin and Artola. That ain't what our mission is. Our mission is, like he said, is to reach our youth. Our youth is being reached by social media, Lil Nas X, everything under the sun that we can't really reach them to teach them, because we losing them by all this bullshit that we idolizing, like he said, these characters. I didn't get up on the Crips until I read Monster Cody book. Now, I was fascinated by the Bloods and the Crips from South Central Cartel in 1988. I used to dress like them. I used to wear Chuck Taylors and khaki suits. I just didn't wear the bandanas because I wasn't a Crip. So I understand exactly what he's saying. It is how can I try to put it? Because my mind racing real fast because I know everybody trying to say something, but he telling the honest truth of what's going on with us as far as the black culture. No, I don't like that culture word. When we say culture as far as this gangbang, that's not a culture. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we all know we have choices. That was a choice that I took. That was a choice that everybody took. That's not our culture. This mindset that the Bloods, the Crips, the GDs, the Vice Lords, and all that is some type of tribe in the culture. That's not a tribe. That's not a culture. It's just something that bothers me with that. You understand what I'm saying? And the reason I be so adamant.
Those are nations. He named nations. Those ain't tribes. Those are nations.
Now, Ryder, what's your not pardon me, but what's your question though, my brother, so we can get to the next person? What's your question though, fam?
Well, I didn't really have a question. I was just gonna say more so that, you know, when he be talking about, you know, the gang members, he not necessarily denouncing them. You know, it is true. Shit, a lot of people that don't have no retirement. We knew this when we was 14. You wasn't gonna get no pension. So I don't see why everybody having this debate of why he, you know, I guess, you know, trying to shit on people, but he's not really telling the truth, because I ain't got no pension. I'm 45 years old. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that what he's saying is he really kind of corrected what he's saying. There's no pension. There's no love when one of us died. It's 2 killers that just died in the neighborhood, and there's still no love today. I mean, but he telling the truth, and that's, you know, basically what I wanted to say right now.
All right, yo, Mike, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you. Yo, Savvy, you had a question, right? What's your question, bro?
Yes, sir. I appreciate you letting me up. What's up, everybody on stage? I had a quick question for you, Charleston, if you don't mind. I fuck with you heavy as far as your general message is concerned and everything. Pretty much everything I've heard you say tonight is absolute facts. I was born in 96. I noticed that my generation simply don't like hearing the truth. For example, there's a large part of, in my generation, there's a large part of the black population who idolizes and even fetishizes black-on-black killings and black deaths in general. For example, let's be honest, it wasn't a white person or a Hispanic or an Asian person who killed King Von or Nipsey Hussle But yet, if I were to bring that fact up in general conversation amongst my peers in my age group, niggas would laugh, niggas would scoff, niggas would call me a Sharif. Basically, niggas would throw it aside like nothing, like their deaths basically were meaningless. So it's definitely becoming a cultural thing for sure. Where my question comes in for you is, I myself am not a street nigga. And like you, I despise the street niggas who are more bullies.
Those are street situations that you're speaking of that you couldn't understand that because you're not a street nigga.
Hold on. Let me finish.
See, that's what's wrong with you niggas. Try to think for another man. Let that man speak on what his perception is, bro.
Yeah, because I'm being affected by the same shit. Everybody got dead niggas. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on.
What was your question?
Hold on, because I was actually reading off a note and he fucked me up. I got to get back to where I was. Here I am. I, like you, despise the street niggas who are more bullies in nature. I know I was born in 96, but I caught small glimpses of the street niggas who still stand on integrity, morals, and respect. The street niggas who hustled and threw cookouts and fed the whole hood and made sure the whole hood was straight. Obviously, shit like that is no longer the norm. But clearly, street niggas are back on top, and it looked like they're here to stay. Ultimately, this leads to my question. How much of the blame would you put on the OGs who were supposed to keep us, meaning the younger generation, in control, and how much of the blame would you put towards niggas just being niggas?
I wouldn't put no blame on the OGs, and I wouldn't put no blame on the niggas, right? The OGs wasn't never OGs in the beginning, homie. All the OGs have always been niggas that was getting high, that could fight, and that would kill somebody. They didn't know how to teach nobody. They didn't know how to teach a nigga when you get the girl pregnant how to go to prenatal care. So it wasn't no instructions. It wasn't no teaching, homie. It ain't never been no structure with the Crips and the Bloods for the BDs to listen to the OGs. You listen to the OGs, homie, because they was bullies. Not out of respect, homie. Come on, homie, that is true. Because if it wasn't true, the young niggas will be listening today.
What about the king of all kings, Jeff Ford, who changed his name to Chief Malik?
You say who?
Chief Malik. Jeff
Man,
Ford.
I don't know nothing about them, nigga. Who is that? I don't know him. Who is he? What he do? What gang he come? I don't know nothing about them.
That's the king of the Black Peace Stones.
Man, I ain't never heard of them, nigga. We only know Crips and Bloods.
I mean,
nothing about no Black Peace Stone.
It's some Bloods.
We don't know this, homie. We don't know nothing about no Peace Stone, no gangsters. They didn't Hollywood us with those. Nigga, they gave us Crips and Bloods. They don't give us Black Peace Stone Michael Jordan. They give us Blood and Pyru and Crip Michael Jordan. They didn't make songs about Blood and Peace Stone. They made songs about Crips and Bloods. Crips and Bloods was commercialized. See, that's the point y'all missing.
When Crips and Bloods originated,
you know what I mean?
Man, I done heard so many. I done been with Baba Louie. I done been with Cappuccino. I done been with all the originals. I done heard them all about what done started, man. Fuck what it started. Look what it's still doing. In 72, they been killing.
Bro, but you said they had no structure.
But it didn't start that way, Charles.
But it ain't never had no structure when they were fighting. Man, listen, when Raymond and Tookie and them met up in St. Andrews Park, it wasn't no structure. It wasn't no structure. They were bullying people. Tookie was taking the sack lunches from the workers, remember? It wasn't no structure. LB, Papoose testified against LB. How was that structure? The mafia got structure. They don't have no treasury, no board of directors. How do they have structure when they can wage war at any time? There's no structure. That's why it's a free-for-all. Boys following boys. No man have ever joined the gang, and don't y'all ever forget that. It's always been a boy. Raymond Washington was a boy. He went to prison, and he got to meet some men that told him, nigga, that ain't the way. And he came back with a black liberated mind, but Tookie and them was already out of control with no structure, a bunch of bullies. That's why the Bloods had to form. Everybody was bullying. Tell the whole story, brother.
Wack.
From the West, Wack. Hold on. You're Wack. You from the West. You can attest to that.
Attest to what? That's what? That what?
Up on the last that he made.
That we was outnumbered? We was outnumbered?
No, they was bullies. No, they were bullies. They were taking leather coats. Give me your leather coat, nigga. They were bullies.
I mean, listen, first of all, that didn't start over no Crip and Blood shit. That was some personal shit. And one side just happened to be, his family happened to be from one side, and the other side happened to be for that. So that wasn't like that.
So the Crips didn't take and steal jackets when niggas had leather coats they liked. Them the stories I got from the originals. They caused mayhem in the community. They went to concerts, they went to parties. The Crips are here. The whistle they do.
Hey, my nigga. Hey, my nigga. That shit was originated to protect the community. You know
from
that.
Who?
What you mean from who? We had white gangs out there too, bro. What you mean?
Well, when you listen to all the people that's telling the stories, that part ain't being told.
What people was telling the story?
Well, you got a slew of them. You can go from Baba Louie to Monster Cody to
Monster Cody can't tell that story.
Well, Baba Louie, Campell, you name them.
Baba Louie told the story on my project.
So that's what I'm saying. And so I had him here in my home. It was never about protect the community.
First and foremost, everybody who know me, let's keep it 100. Everybody who know me, you know I don't do this. I don't do none of this corniness. Can y'all hear me? All right, cool. Everybody who know me, y'all know my style. She came on here claiming that, everybody, I don't do this. Yes, you do. This is exactly the only thing you do. You know what I mean? Normally, I wouldn't even entertain this, but the fact that you mentioned my children, I'm not letting that ride. Since this whole situation happened, everybody know I never said nothing. The only time I said something was the last time when she tried to clout chase with the whole fake thing she kind of put on Instagram before. But ever since this transpired, I never opened my mouth, never said nothing because that's not my style. And also, I would never want to disrespect her. You know what I mean? Actions speak way louder than words. Initially, when it transpired, which was 2022, when she started dealing with the lane. But that wasn't the first time I caught her cheating. I caught her cheating numerous times since she been home. With the lane, the reason, hold on, let's get to the point. We're gonna get to the lane later. You had the audacity to mention my child. You had the audacity to mention me not seeing my daughter. When ever since I left, she has not allowed me to see my daughter. She's been miserable. I'm gonna say it again. All men out there who ever been through this type of situation, you know how it gets when you're dealing with a miserable individual. She did not allow me to see my daughter since this first transpired at the end of last year. Blatantly, I went to pick my daughter up from school. When I went to pick my daughter up from school, Diamond was picking my daughter up because that's who has my daughter all the time. And that was one of the biggest issues I had with her because all my daughter know is mommy and daddy. She was raised with both parents. That's all she know from day one since the womb. Our entire lives has been documented. What goes on with these celebrities is they like when y'all come on their page and y'all like their posts. They like when y'all spend y'all money on their concerts, on their music. They like when y'all make them rich. So y'all become fans and y'all follow the journey of these celebrities for years and years and years, right? As y'all follow the journey of these celebrities, you basically become a part of their life because you've been following them for 10 years, 15 years sometimes. You've been a fan of a celebrity or artist. But as soon as something happens, the first thing they say to the fans is, you don't know me, right? As soon as something get out there bad that they don't want you to know about, the first thing they say is, oh, you don't know my life? Yes, they do. They know you y'all know us very well. And the reason why I'm saying that is because don't allow none of these celebrities to fool you. When you hear a rumor that comes out is true. We are human, just like y'all, the audience, the supporters, the fans. So now you have a person here who life has been documented for decades through the fans watching us, seeing when she got incarcerated. Watch me visit her every day for a year straight. Watch me bring her 35 pounds of food a month. Watch me hold her down. Watch me in the courtroom getting into altercations with court officers over her. Witness when she came home. Witness me go build the anticipation for her to come out of prison. Had a different artist do a drop every single day. Oh, the queen is coming. The return of the queen. Right? All the fans witnessed this. Witnessed us come home. Witnessed us have the big wedding ceremony. Followed our entire journey. Never trust a celebrity who erased their Instagram. You ever notice I never erased nothing on my page? All you gotta do is scroll down. The same page that she utilized today to lie for an hour straight and tell all these fabricated stories, the same page I created. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. We'll get back to that later. I went to pick my daughter up from school. There's a young lady who was picking my daughter up from school. And I notified her, hey, you know, I called her, I said, hey, I'm coming to pick her up. I picked up my daughter, gave her a hug, gave her a kiss, I mean, show things you do when you see your child. Embrace my child. And I had to go take care of something that day, so after I see my daughter, I just wanted to see her and hug her because everything had been going on. I hadn't seen her in a little while. After I left, I think the next day or next two went by. She contacted me. Hey, you haven't seen your daughter since New Year's. I said, excuse me? I just seen my daughter yesterday. I just picked her up from school. What are you talking about? She didn't even know that I seen my daughter. You know why? Because she's never there with my daughter. She is never there with my child. And it's crazy that you have the audacity to open your mouth and say that I haven't seen my daughter, not only due to the fact that you didn't allow me to see her, since I finally got tired of your lies, tired of your narcissism and moved on, but the fact that while you was running out here cheating with this lame, not only cheating with this lame, you allowed him to destroy your entire life. You used all you could talk to this life for. But you know what? I am upset. You know why I'm upset? Because you mentioned my children. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Can you hear me now? If you can hear me, let me know. There's a few people saying they can't hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. I'm not covering the mic. Y'all saying I'm covering the mic. I let it go now. It's good? Brooklyn Jad here. Jad, can you hear me? All right, now, yes. Okay, cool. Like I said earlier, for those who just came on the live, everybody who know me, and I'm talking about speaking with my actions, I don't do this. I don't clout chase. I never come on social media talking about anything. Even when I got stabbed in my back. Even when I got stabbed in my back by the person that I moved mountains for, fought battles, did everything, was super loyal to. I still didn't slander you. I still didn't say nothing. I just kept it moving. But you had the audacity to mention my children. So since you want to mention my children, and that I can't let ride. A lot of people like, yo, Pat, that's not you. Don't entertain it. You know what I'm saying? People see through it. She's bitter. She's miserable. Yeah. That's a fact, but you mentioned my children, and that I'm not letting ride. So with that being said, you abandoned my child for months, for days at a time, knowing she had to go to school the next day, knowing I had to go to work the next day, since you want to get up on here and say, oh, you don't have a job. Because you know, when I got the executive position at TuneCore initially, knowing I had to go to work the next day, knowing my daughter had to go to school, you stayed out with the lane. You stayed out with the lane. You want to talk, and you stayed out with the lane while your daughter was crying for you. Tears. Also, She wanted to talk about all of this money talk and all of this and what I don't got and what I got. Since I met her, I have written 90% of the rhymes that came out of her mouth. And with me saying that, I want to say this to y'all. Anyone who has an iPhone, you know how iPhones work. When I was younger, I used to be able to write rhymes in my head, create rhymes in my head, and remember them. Just like that. As time went on, I got a little older, I started to write rhymes in my email draft. Now, if you have an iPhone, you go in your email draft. If anybody come around me, and we're in the flesh next to each other, I can type in any word from one of her songs, and her entire rap will come up. The entire verse will come up. I never asked for a penny. I never asked for credit. She was my wife. I didn't want anything from her. I just wanted to see her win. Like I said, I have written 90% of the rhymes that came out of her mouth since I met her. Y'all said it. Y'all said it numerous times. Oh, we know that's pen. Behind that pen. Did I ever agree with y'all? Did I ever put it out there? I never said I wrote her rhymes. I left it. I didn't need the credit. All I wanted her to do was win. Wrote the rhymes, did the contracts, security, the whole shit. So you fabricate these stories, and it's very weird that you're talking all of this money talk, but in your background, it's everything that I bought. All of the utilities are in my name. So all of this fabrication about, oh, he don't pay no bills, oh, he don't do this, he don't do that. If you analyze her life, the whole thing is about all of this money talk. Why? Because she wants y'all to think that she's this big shot. I don't need to come up here and perpetrate no fraud like I'm a big shot, like I'm this and I'm that. For the simple fact that I speak with my actions. You want to talk about black love? Anybody who follow me, they know I've always been pro-black and had knowledge of self since I was a teenager. So I've represented that since I came in the door before I even knew you. Okay? So don't ever talk about black love and what else she said? I gotta remember. So, first and foremost, very bipolar, very delusional. This is a person who will sit in front of you. She will post that live, and she'll say later, I didn't do that. I wasn't on live. You'll be sitting there like, huh? She will say something to you, and 10 minutes later say, I never said that. Very bipolar. And I don't want to talk bad about her, man. That's something that I never wanted to do. That's why when this took place, when she first got caught cheating with the lane, I brought it to her attention. I said, first of all, I couldn't even believe that she was stooped that low because he's such a cornball. Y'all see it? Y'all say it yourself. I'm like, yo, there's no way it's this nigga. Because I'm trying to figure it out. Like, damn, who is this nigga? Because, we were living a normal, peaceful life, raising our child like we planned to, and she started to move real strange. So in the process of her moving strange, it became stranger and stranger, worse and worse. So I said, damn, I gotta see what's going on. What the hell is going on? I started to do my research. As I did my research, I found out she was cheating with the lane. So once I find out, I brings it to her attention. I said, mind you, I didn't knock him out because he slept with my wife. Like I told y'all before, the reason I knocked him out was because he shook my hand and then slept with my wife. It's a difference. But let me tell y'all this. So I bring it to her attention that I found out that she's sleeping with the lane. She tells me, him? Why him? Why him out of all people? Not Goods? Not Hitman? My word is my bond is my life. I should give my life before my word shall fail. This was her exact words. Him? Why would I deal with him? I said, Rem, I know you're dealing with the lane. I know it. First and foremost, how it first fell on my radar that she was cheating with the nigga, he was running his mouth, and it came back to me. They said, yo, Pat, this nigga out here telling niggas he fucking your wife. I said, word. So I did a little bit more research, connect a couple more dots, I finds out. She tells me this. Okay, I find out. Mind you, it's not the first time she cheated. You know what I mean? I continued the marriage because I lived by my wedding vow. I try to live by my wedding vows. Richer for poor, sicker for health, sickness and health, you know what I'm saying? Better for worse, and death do us part. So you try to work through things. Anybody out there who's married, y'all understand. So I find out she cheating with the lame. I bring it to her attention. Of course, we have an altercation, like basically argument back and forth or whatever transpired, right? Okay. She decides, and I decide that we're going to go to therapy, but she brings it to my attention, to be honest. She said, I think we should do therapy. I said, okay. Even though I'm private and I don't like to speak to people about my personal business, that was a very, very difficult thing for me to do. But I said, you know what? Let's do the therapy. We go to the therapist. We go to the therapist. The therapist's first question is, do you guys want a divorce or do y'all want to work it out? Me and her both said we want to work it out. So when she comes on live and say, we haven't slept in bed since 2022, and to make it seem like and fabricate a story, like we had some agreement, you're such a liar. There was no agreement. When I found out you was with the lame, you denied it. You shitted on him. Basically said, yo, why would I be with him? Why do you think I would be with him? And then you wanted to go to therapy. So check it out now. Check it out. So when we go to therapy, the therapist says, do y'all want to get a divorce? Honest. Because honestly, I didn't want to not live under the same roof as my 5-year-old. I love all my kids the same, but when you have children, and everyone knows that about me. Everybody who knows me, y'all know my character. Y'all know her character. Very rude, very disrespectful, not just to me, to everyone. But that speaks volumes. I didn't want to we planned to raise her with both parents. That was the plan. So I did not want to not live under the same roof with my little girl. I was there from the moment she came out of the womb, and I intended, and I always told her, I want to be there to the moment we take her to her prom. When she graduates high school, college, get her degrees, I want to be there to take my daughter to her prom. And I told her that. So I never wanted to leave from under the roof with my baby. That's why I stayed around for this nonsense. And I don't want to go away from the point. Okay, so we did the therapy. The therapist gave us that option. We both said we want to work it out. She said, this is the plan. I'm going to give y'all a plan to work it out. She said, Pat, because like I told y'all previously, once I seen that she was cheating, like she was moving real strange, I'm talking about leaving for hours at a time. Every time I questioned it, it was a lie, just strange behavior. So once I noticed that she was moving strange, I started to do my research. So the therapist said, because she told the therapist, mind you, she got all these lies to y'all about me. The only thing she told the therapist was, he doesn't trust me. He's going to keep looking behind me and trying to, find out what I'm doing. But the only reason why I was looking behind her is because she was moving strange. So I agreed to, not show distrust or whatever. And the therapist told her, Remy, since you're saying that it's only business with this dude moving forward, but y'all have a last event coming up, after this event, you're going to cut all ties with this individual. This is what the therapist said. She said, Pat, because I told Rem back then, before I even clipped him, I said, when I catch son, I'm putting him down. I'm putting him down. He violated. You know what I'm saying? And what I noticed, when I found out, I noticed that every time me and her stepped out and made an appearance, he'd go post on his gram, do little sucker shit. He'd go make a post on his story about us. So I'm watching this. Mind you, y'all, I'm not saying nothing the whole time. I know this nigga sleeping with my wife, but I ain't saying nothing. Feel me? I'm like, I'm gonna be quiet. I ain't saying nothing. Son doing sucker shit on the gram. That's cool. I ain't paying that no mind. We go to therapy. The therapist come up with the plan. We put the plan together. therapist said she has this event coming up at Sony Hall, which was the battle between him and Hitman. She said, you can go to the event, right? But don't knock him. Don't do nothing to this individual. She said, I said, I'm going to go to the event. I'm going to fall back. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do nothing. After the event, she's supposed to leave the dude alone. Right? I go to the hold on a second, man. Give me 1 second. Actually, I don't know what to do. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second, y'all. Second, y'all. Okay, back to the subject of the matter. So I go to the event. It's the battle with him and Hitman. Everybody there. Everybody remember that event. Y'all notice I never came on the stage, right? Never came on the stage, stayed in the crowd, fell back. Watched the entire little week battle, whatever, you know what I'm saying? On his behalf, because he trash. Watch him do his little trash battle. You know what I'm saying? So as I'm watching it, I never did nothing. When we left the battle, I went home with my daughter. She went home with the lane. Went home with the lane. Okay. She came home. She went home with the lane, stayed out all night, came home probably like the next morning. When she came home, after that, the baby is there. I ain't tripping. Kept it moving, kept raising my daughter, kept it pushing. A couple days go by, things a little peaceful around the crib. I reach out to the therapist, let her know what transpired. We went to the event, everything was everything. After those couple days, me, her, and my daughter, we all sleep in the same room. We go to bed. I'm saying it's bedtime. We sleep together in the same bed every night. As we're sleeping in the bed, I fall asleep. My daughter's in the middle of us. So it's 2 beds in our room now at this time because she started doing weird things around the crib or whatever. So me, her, and my daughter in the same bed. It's another bed over there. I wake up. It's just me and my daughter in the bed. So I get up. I see her in the other bed. So I go over to the other bed. And as I go to the other bed, I notice that her phone is on. When I pick up the phone, I see the lame on the phone. You know what I'm saying? I said, okay. She on the phone with the lame. So after that, I woke her up. Hey, what's going on? This what you doing in here? This what we doing? She started lying again, fabricating, this, that, and the third. Long story short, she kept cheating with the lame. Okay. Move forward from that. Another battle comes up. The lane not on the card. He's not on the card. It's just another event. But mind you, like I told y'all previously, I'm there for my daughter. I'm there being a father. I'm not going to allow this situation to take me away from my child. So what I did was kept raising my daughter. Even though I know that she's a narcissist, very contradictory, very bipolar, I said, you know what? I'm going to keep raising my daughter. I'm not going to let this situation to remove me from under the roof of my child. I kept raising my daughter, take my daughter to school every single day, doing everything a father's supposed to do. In the process of me raising my daughter, another event is coming up later on down the line. The lane is not on the card. Okay. She has the event. I'm going to the event, because I go to all the events. I'm going to the event, but I'm hoping the lane ain't there. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to have to really put my hands on her. Cool. I'm getting dressed. She leaves. They start the event. I'm still at the crib. I get dressed. I go to matter of fact, I can't even put that out there. Anyway, let me just say this. I found out the lane was dead. I said, she gotta be kidding me, man. I done told you I'm gonna put this nigga down, and you bring him to the event. I done told you numerous times, when I catch this nigga, I'm gonna put him down. Mind you, I finds out she got an apartment 40 minutes away from our crib, where she lays up with the lane, leaves and say she's going to work, leaves, say she's going to do this and do that, but she goes to the crib. I've been there. I can actually give y'all the address. So she got this. She got another crib, and shout the. I don't even want to put this nigga under the bus, man. But this another individual who was married and got a crib not too far from the home of his family. But I ain't gonna put him out there. But she did the same thing, which was weirdo shit. So anyway, I go to the event. Now I already know I'm coming there. I'm putting this nigga down. I'm gonna be honest with you. Truthfully, I really wanted to really hurt him. But I decided at the last minute, I say, you know what? I'm gonna just put my hands on this nigga. I get to the
website last night, irately to prove a point, and started filling out shit that ain't never gonna get answered because it's a weekend and then Monday's a holiday. I do not care. I don't. Okay? I don't care. I didn't realize that Papoose was still crashing out at 2 a.m. because I was sleeping because I have to get up in the morning and take my daughter to school. Throughout the day, I really wanted to get right to it, but I had some things to do because I have something to do later, and I had to pick my daughter back up from school. But now that she's secure and everything's fine, I got about 7 minutes before I gotta start getting ready and put my clothes on. What I am going to do is address the couple of things that was just totally egregious, totally outlandish. Okay? The first one is just ludicrous. It doesn't even make sense. This man ain't right 90% of anything. Like, I wish he paid 90% of the bills. We probably wouldn't be here, but that's neither here nor there. Not only did this man not write for me, that's where a lot of his animosity comes from. Every time we would do interviews, the people would be like, oh my God, do y'all rap battle? Who's better? Like, she's better. His heart, though, it pains him because he really wants this. He wants this. We're talking about somebody who literally sat and made an album each month for a year straight that nobody purchased. And then here I am, literally making a lot of money on old work. And then sometimes I'll pop out a little verse on Ghetto Ration Economy, pop out with the first on an Mary J record, or I do something with like Fat Joe. Every time I do it, like, around when they're pleased with the album. And he envies that I have that demand and or that I have the leisure to not really do music because financially I'll still be okay. Right? I was always being threatened, or should I use the word blackmail, since that's the word we like to use. The only person that has ever tried to blackmail me was Papoose. All of these things he's saying now, oh, I wrote her music, oh, she's abusing her daughter. This man will wait till my daughter did something out of pocket because he doesn't chastise any of them, really. wait till my daughter does something out of pocket, and when I go to chastise her, he would secretly record me. The same way he played a clip of a secret recording the other day, yesterday or whatever. He would secretly record me and then tell me like, yo, I'll play this and tell him that you abuse our daughter. Swear to God. Swear to God. This is the type of manipulator that we're dealing with. He loves using the word narcissist. Strangely. Look at the tactics of a narcissist. When they can't control you anymore, they try to assassinate your character. With lies. You understand? My daughter's well taken care of. Not because of him. That man didn't even contribute $1 to her year. IVF cost me over $100,000. So I wanted to focus on my career. Right? So that's that. To say that you penned anything, you're corny. Like, no, the fact that nobody even believes you. I don't know why academics is over there like, yo, this was it. Sir, please, don't use your platform to promote positivity. Don't push propaganda and lies. So that was that. Really wasn't even that serious, but I feel like I have to say that. The part that really blew the part that scuffed my Timbs is that this man really tried to come on here and say that that he caught me with a female, which is one of my friends, which I've been holding her back for years because she's acting like this man for years. Like, yo, can't say nothing, can't say anything. You gotta respect it. You, not only did you disrespect her, you said her name, everything. So whatever she says about you, it's out of my hands right now. But he caught me in a sexual act with a female with my daughter on the bed. I slipped out of the bed with him after he was trying to get something, denied him. I always deny him. I've denied him. I haven't had sex with him in years. But I slipped out of my bed and tried to go get in another bed with a girl, a female, which is my friend, one of my close friends for years and years and years. And he caught me with my daughter and all this. First of all, I'm trying to say what you said about Easy. Oh, you a little. I think it's a little sugar in his tank. That's weird to me. That you literally got on hand, thought you had a flex trying to say, oh, she's bisexual. This, like, I'm actually not. But thanks for the uplift, because all the bad bitches that's been in my DMs since you said that, like, shout out to y'all. But try to say that she's done so many things to the people from that community. Who? Most of my friends. Aggressives, my hairstylist, one of my makeup artists, like, by you saying that really shows how you really feel. Oh, I'm only on here because you talked about my children. Your children. Why do people only know that you have 2 children? Mine and your oldest daughter. Why they don't know about your son? Why was there 1,001 blogs posting, oh, his new girlfriend, way back when you was really with your daughter? Because they never even see her that much. You understand? So I told you the last time when you tried that son, oh, she wasn't with my daughter on Christmas. Not only was I with her on Christmas, and your dumb ass was sitting right there. I bought the most of the shit like I always do. Like, what you talking about? What are you talking about? Why do you keep playing with my kid? But as soon as I start talking about your parenting, you're gonna be mad. You're gonna be mad. She won't let me see my daughter. She won't let me see my daughter. I ain't never been the bitch to keep a man away from his kid. I'm not gonna be with the kid all day. Go over there. It's your turn too. You understand? Are you talking about the times when you wanted to take her over to your mother's house? And I told you, don't be having my daughter around the house that's over there? One of your adopted sisters, knowingly, y'all all know about it over there, touching on kids. That's why she ain't never been over there. That's why she don't know them. And you agreed with it when we were together. Hence why my daughter ain't never really go over there like that. So don't try to sit here and spin and act like, oh, shit. The same one whose sister is in the shade room comments popping shit. Worry about your sister that y'all protecting over there on that side of the family. Okay? Okay? Yes, I'm going there. I don't want her around no that are being protected. Tell me I'm lying. Say I'm lying. Should I list who she touched that y'all all know about? And then y'all all act like y'all don't see nothing? That upsets me. That makes me mad. When somebody acts like and tries to attack my motherhood, that upsets me. And he knows that. I'm off that subject. Don't play about my motherhood again. Come on, Papoose. For all of y'all saying he bought my jewelry, he didn't buy shit. I can count what he bought. That's in one of my jewelry. An anklet, a little charm here and there. The shit that you walked out with, that you was posted up with on your page, with your current situation, my half the kilo Cuban, you ain't buy that. My Cartier bracelet, you ain't buy that. My Van Cleef, you ain't buy none of that. And even if you did buy me something, that doesn't give you the right to go in my jewelry box and pawn it, because it's mine. But you didn't take anything that you bought, because it ain't what you gonna get, a couple $100. I have all my receipts for hundreds of thousands of dollars from pristine jewelers, sir. Okay? Now, that's a truth. Stop lying. I'm mad because she's mad because I found out that she was with a woman. She's mad because I moved on. You want to know? Y'all want to know why he's mad? Y'all want to know why he didn't address anything that I said, but he went in and on to attack Easy, the Wack captain, that he literally is obsessed with? First of all, you posted an audio, right? That you're recording, you federal agent. Mr. Recording devices, cameras throughout every house, crib, car we ever had in life. When you're recording and the other person doesn't know they're recording, you're gonna act accordingly because you know you're being recorded. You wanted me to lie and say that nothing never happened at all, that I wasn't messing with him, I wasn't talking to him, nothing. And I said, I'm not doing that. We all, me, you, and Easy agreed that we wasn't going to say nothing about the incident that happened at my event. Not that you knocked anybody out, because that was always a lie. And you agreed to it because at the time you didn't have your executive position job as the head of hip-hop that no one has heard about in a month of Sundays. And you wasn't sure if it was secure, so you couldn't have something coming out where you were seeming like the aggressor or committing a crime or anything like that. Me, being who I am, I went, I talked to Easy, and I'm like, listen, just chill. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's in all of our best interests, because he is who he is in his field, I am who I am, and Papoose is who he is. At the time he was still Papoose, he wasn't talking shit. Well, he was, but I just didn't know. So, the moment that he knew his job at TuneCore was solidified via that bitch you was over there, play with me. I dare you. Play with me. That's why he was mad that I never posted it, because he doesn't get a check from TuneCore. He was getting a percentage of the subscriptions, and he wanted me to post to my 11 million followers to subscribe to TuneCore. And I told him, tell the bitch that's your TuneCore to post it on her page. I didn't see anything wrong with that. What are you talking about? The second that he knew his job was solidified, he then started going on. So I knocked somebody out because he was mad. He wanted to assassinate Easy's character the same way he's trying to assassinate mine. Okay? I literally peeled off your ass because I can't even go to that venue no more because the way he was acting when they got about it. When you ran off into the night with a mask on and nobody knew where you went to, it was like, we doing this. You know what I said? Sorry, guys. That's my husband. Still. And that's my daughter's father. I can't do nothing. Yes, he was absolutely wrong. He was dead wrong. He was out of pocket. Yeah, if y'all do something behind my back that I don't know about, whatever, but not on my watch. I'm not doing it. And that's how I've been hating. That's how I handle him. Through all the tormenting and all the secrets and all everything, nobody still couldn't handle him crazy. Let's be clear. People didn't respect me on the strength of him. A lot of the shit that he got was on the strength of me. And that's how I carried it. So when people was like, when he goes on and says, oh, he lied after I knocked him out, he lied. Like, well, we all lied. Because we were all trying to make sure that we were all good because you did some dumb shit. But y'all know how it is. They could do mad shit to you all day, every day, year after year, decade after decade. But the second you do something to them, the second you say, I'm done, I'm finished, all hell breaks loose. He used to be gorilla glued to my nuts everywhere I went. Not because I'm a cheater and because I can't keep my legs closed, but because he was so worried about an athlete or another rapper or an executive getting my attention and I'll leave. When he realized that a regular that can rap, but just not the way we do it. By the way, he makes $50,000 per battle, has about 5-6 battles a year, so he makes at least $250,000 a year. You understand? Great credit score. I never seen a person with a credit score like this in my life. Like the richest people that I've been around. But anyway, unlike some people who beg me to add their name to one of my properties and I have to lean on it because they don't pay their taxes. He couldn't believe, he couldn't fathom why him. So I used to say, she was saying, why hit me? Why goods? Why you lying? Why you lying? You was devastated that a random that used to work for sanitation, got a pension plan, got a 401k out, that happens to rap, was able to overcome your manipulation, was able to treat me nice. Not just because the camera's on, not just because people are watching, but because he genuinely felt like that. Not because I was paying his bills, not because I was taking care of his kids. None of that. None of that. And then, after I created my Battle League, Chrome 23, I helped him make another Battle League that's popping. He signed himself to, he literally that day signed himself to Slitcherverse Records and dropped the single the same day. The same day. He keeps digging up old pictures of AZ on Google to try to make people like, look who she messing with, look who she doing this. Bro, if I post some of your old pictures, you look crazy. A lot of our older pictures look crazy. Why don't you post the pictures and the videos and the surveillance you have that has been hurting your heart? That had you on live for 2 hours, 3 different times at 2 a.m. in the morning. Because that's what you said. That's what you said to me. Oh, yeah, I'm moving around with my camera come up publicly. And you did the same thing to me. I just had to deal with it in private. People don't know what I had to deal with. You're the weird one. You're the one that kept blackmailing me and threatening me to release sex tapes of me. Y'all keep saying, oh, she was parading around with this guy. I never do that. Never. Y'all may see me standing with somebody. Y'all may have seen me at my Battle League where people was talking crazy about me. People who...
Sometimes you already know the rules. When you come in my house, take off your shoes and super violate that like button. Shall we begin? Shall we begin? Remy and Pap, Remy and Pap, Remy and Pap. Let me say this. When it comes to Remy and Pap, I don't like the topic. I don't like getting into situations with man, woman, and child.
as men, we know, because of the way we was raised in the streets, in the ghetto, with nobody smiling, the ghetto, we know we done did some of the most messed up things to women that we could possibly do. But we love them in our own sick, twisted ways, right? Because we don't know what love is. Love ain't supposed to hurt. But that's a whole nother video. But as men, right? Some of us is warriors, right? People get hurt for trying to play divide and conquer in relationships. Sometimes people, how Jaheim said, gotta find my way back to you, baby. Gotta find my way back. If you let people weather the storm, our relationships be so crazy that we gotta weather the storm. But sometimes, after that storm, it's smooth sailing in a relationship. And some people can actually live happily ever after. Some don't. But the thing that stood out that I want to talk about, what Remy said, that Papoose is 47 years old and broke. What, I gotta put that in the subtitles or something? We love, bring it back home, rewind. Remy said that Papoose is 47 years old and broke. Now, before I go all the way in on that, let me just say this. Some women specialize in broke niggas because they know rich niggas with money would do them the same way Diddy did Cassie. I'm gonna say that again. Some women, you think they playing on you, or you think you playing on them, but they playing on you. They specialize in dealing with broke niggas. Because when they got a little bit of money, they know you feel comfortable and content and you ain't going nowhere. But when they get tired of you, they go get another broke nigga. Like Easy, the block captain. I'm not getting into Pat and Remy's relationship as a whole. I just want to stick to the topic of us men. Some of us men, like I used to call it in my earlier days.
I got an issue with
earlier days, living off the land. My motto was, I don't deal with broke females. Because two broke people can't do nothing for each other at some point in time. So, us jail dudes, we learned to live off the land. But, you see that movie with OG Bobby Johnson? When that Muslim brother said to him in the cell, "Is you a man? Is you a man?" Remy said, at 47 years old, she called Pap a bum. Because she knows the Pap that we don't know. And I get it. We living in a world where if Pap was rewarded for his talent, he wouldn't be broke. But hip-hop is dead. They've been buried it. And we the people, we allowed it. Yeah, we allowed it. To be 47 years old and have a woman call you a bum, broke, can't pay bills, and then she accusing you of stealing her jewelry? Yeah, my nigga, take a deep breath. Because I had a conversation with a 70-year-old man. And I asked him, why are you still working? Why you didn't retire? You know what he said to me? He said, because I can't live off $1,000 a month. As we get older, it's not going to get no easier. And I'm telling you, brothers, I don't know about y'all, but I personally know how I feel. In my 40s, in my 50s, unless we dead or we on our deathbed, and even still, we had our whole life to get it together. I don't want to live off of a female. I don't want a female calling me broke. And I don't want a female to feel like I need her financially. Cause ain't nothing going on but the rent. You got to have a J-O-B if you want to be with me. I don't want to live off no female. It ain't nothing worse than your female's family, friends, calling you a bum. Cause you ain't getting to that bag. Put yourself on punishment. Stop hanging out. Stop celebrating failure. You can do anything you put your mind to. Get to that bag. There's many things I could touch on, and I will, when it comes to Remy and Pat. But this is one of the topics. As a man, we all fall down, but we get back up. Get to that bag. And all you niggas that's living off them females, conversations in the dark, they calling you a bum. And if they ain't calling you a bum, they family members is calling you a bum. own bills. I drive my own cars. I got my own business accounts, bank accounts. I get my own money. Get to your own bag. Get to your own bag. Because it ain't nothing like people talking about you like you ain't Be able to look yourself in the mirror. Hit that like button.
Because you keep on talking about power. You always say the same.
You have dead over there though.
Every day.
Okay, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Did you not tell that bro that about me, bro?
Listen,
yes or no?
All you gotta do is shut the fuck up, nigga.
Nigga, tell your mama shut the fuck up. Like you talk to you, nigga. Like you talking to a man, nigga.
You always talking about old power, all power. You ain't no motherfucker.
Listen, you a nigga that got liquor down, bitch ass nigga. You know the man out there with time beat the fuck out of you.
You been talking about me for 5 hours, 6 hours.
Listen, you started at the Breakfast Club, nigga. You been talking about me for 2 days. I mean, I ain't gonna do nothing, my nigga.
I don't throw rocks.
Hey, bro, I'm down there right now.
Listen, I don't
Where
throw
you
rocks
at?
behind my head, bro. Stop.
Where you at, nigga?
Listen,
I'm in Miami every day.
How you there?
Where you at?
You in Miami, you wanna know where
Every day, where you at?
I need to know where you at. How about that?
Where you at? Or where you need niggas to be at?
Niggas to be. See what I'm saying?
What you mean, nigga?
You always use
That's your thing. Hey, look, you can't tell me how to fight my fight, nigga. If me and you gonna get out, we can get out. But if we play in the streets, we gonna play the streets, nigga.
You talking about what? Because Miss P would not agree with you every time you said something slick about me. You always have something slick to say. And
hey, bro, let me ask you a question.
Hold on.
This morning, you admitted that that's what you said to that woman, right?
If you shut the fuck up, I'm gonna tell you what
I said. Nah, you ain't no shut the fuck up. You better learn how to talk to people, homie.
Miss P was.
Cause your half dead ass wouldn't say none of that in front of my face.
Miss P said, the nigga always said your name. I think the nigga Wack got a problem with you. He always
She lied, she gaslit you, bro.
When I take her,
I'm gonna tell you, everybody here knows I'm gonna tell you, nigga.
You don't wanna know what I said, bitch ass nigga.
You already said what you said this morning.
Let me tell him in this room what I said, nigga. In your motherfucking presence, nigga. I told Miss P, listen, first of all, when a nigga say something about me, don't take up for him. I said, be careful when talking to that nigga Wack. This what that nigga do to get paid. That's the bitch ass nigga. Your best bet is to stay off the phone with that nigga ass. Don't keep telling me what a nigga said about me and what a nigga always.
So why when I come to the room, you...
lot of corny, man. A lot of corny rap.
Because you keep on talking about power. You always say the same.
You have dead over there though.
Every day.
Okay, let's keep it real. Did you not tell that bro that about me, bro?
Listen,
yes or no?
All you gotta do is shut the fuck up, nigga.
Nah, nigga, tell your mama shut the fuck up. You always talk to me, nigga, like you talking to a man, nigga.
You always talking about old pyro, all pyro. You ain't no motherfucker.
Listen, you a nigga that got marked out.
Bitch ass nigga.
Did your career not end with Trick beat the fuck out of you?
You been talking about me for 5 hours, 6 hours.
Listen, bro, you started at the Breakfast Club, nigga.
All you gotta do is bring your
You been talking about me for 2 days.
You was gonna do.
I mean, you ain't gonna do nothing, my nigga. Hey, bro, I'm down there right now.
Listen, I don't
Where you at?
Behind my head, bro. Stop.
Where you at, nigga?
Listen,
I'm in Miami every day.
How you there?
Where you at?
You in Miami, you wanna know where
every day, where you at?
I need to know where you at. How about that?
Where you at? Or where you need niggas to be at?
Niggas to be. See what I'm saying?
What you mean, nigga?
You always use
That's your thing. Hey, look, you can't tell me how to fight my fight, nigga. If me and you gonna get out, we can get out. But if we play in the streets, we gonna play the streets, nigga.
You talking about because Miss P would not agree with you every time you said something slick about me. You always have something slick to say. And
hey, bro, let me ask you a question.
Hold on.
This morning, you admitted that that's what you said to that woman, right?
If you shut the fuck up, I'm gonna tell you what I said.
Nah, you ain't no shut the fuck up. You better learn how to talk to people, homie.
Miss P was.
Cause your half dead ass wouldn't say none of that in front of my face.
Miss P said, the nigga always saying your name. I think the nigga Wack got a problem with you. He always
She lied, she gaslit you, bro.
When I take her,
I'ma tell you, everybody here know I'm gonna tell you, nigga.
You don't want to know what I said, bitch ass nigga.
You already said what you said this morning.
Let me tell him in this room what I said, nigga. In your motherfucking presence, nigga. I told Miss P, listen, first of all, when a nigga say something about me, don't take up for him. I said, be careful when talking to that nigga Wack. This what that nigga do to get paid. That's the bitch ass nigga. Your best bet is to stay off the phone with that nigga ass. Don't keep telling me what a nigga said about me and what a nigga always said.
So yesterday, I was picked up by the feds, and I was charged in the sex, money, murder, RICO indictment. A conspiracy indictment. No, this is real shit. I'm not even joking. Yesterday, I was picked up by the feds and charged in a sex, money, murder, RICO indictment. I'm laying down in the house. I see sirens outside. And I hear, Hassan, Harris, freeze! FBI! Like, I think I'm being pranked. Like, hold on, what? FBI? So they take me into custody. They didn't want to tell me my charges. I get there, and my lawyer shows me that I am charged in a RICO conspiracy based in Savannah, Georgia. The Southern District of Savannah, Georgia. Now listen. You see these black spaces? These are my co-defendants. These are my co-defendants. And that's just me. Where the fuck are my co-defendants? They redacted the whole indictment. They redacted everything. Black, redact, black, redact. They redacted everything. Look at the indictment. I'm charged in a RICO conspiracy. Yo, listen, man. I'm gonna say this much, right? They got RICO conspiracy here, murder in the aid of racketeering, causing death through the use of a firearm, conspiracy to commit murder in the aid of racketeering, wire fraud conspiracy, and drug conspiracy. Now, out of all of this, right, as you can see in the indictment, they got wire fraud conspiracy, and that's what they charged me with, right? So they're saying that I committed wire fraud during the pandemic by getting unemployment and PPP loans. And I'm gonna say this, I maintain my innocence. Everything I do is by the book. I'm not in no conspiracy. I didn't conspire to do anything with anybody. I'm going to fight. I'm meant to go to trial. Y'all know that. I'm going to trial and I'm going to fight. I do gang prevention and I do, get anti-gang violence. And that's my movement. And y'all know that. Y'all see it every day. It's like this is an ill attempt to embarrass me or something, or to make me look like a hypocrite. All he's doing anti-gang violence, but throw me in a conspiracy with people that I don't even know. From Savannah, I never been to Savannah, Georgia in my life. Number one. And I can't tell you one person I know right now from Savannah. I couldn't tell you. If you ask me, not one person. Just because, you know how they do. So in the beginning, they start off with, in the 80s, 90s, sex, money, murder. And they go into, the gang. It's like, anything that got to do with them 3 letters, SWM, they want to throw me in there. And I'm telling y'all, I'm walking a straight line. I'm walking a fine line, a straight line. I do not commit crime. I don't. I go to work and I go home. And this is just really messed up. That now I gotta fight once again with the legal justice system as I'm walking a straight line and thrown into a conspiracy that have murders on it, that I have nothing to do with, people that I don't even know. It then don't even tell me who these people are. Just black out the whole indictment and then lets me go. Let's talk about that, because I know y'all like to play with niggas' names out here. How did Hocus, get let go? I can hear the trolls now. How did Hocus get let go? And he's in an indictment with murders on it, because Hocus ain't got nothing to do with nobody killing nobody. That's how. Hocus really didn't do nothing. I maintain my innocence. I am going to trial. I didn't conspire. I didn't do no fraud. I did not do no fraud. I do everything by the book with me. It's textbook. For real. So here go my, if y'all want to stop it, the video and see it. I was let out on an unsecured bond of $25,000. which means it's a signature bond, which means I didn't have to pay it. Why they let me go? I don't know. They let me go because I ain't do nothing. So they locked me up and they throw me in a conspiracy. So right now, I'm fighting RICO. Well, I'm actually fighting the wire fraud charges, but thrown in a RICO conspiracy. And this is public information. It's going to come out anyway. So I'm putting it out there first because I don't want y'all to think I'm some hypocrite, right? My voice is my only weapon. I don't want y'all to think I'm some hypocrite really involved in some gang activity, but I'm doing anti-gang shit over here. You know what I mean? I'm doing gang prevention over here. I do not gangbang. I don't. Everybody know this. I'm not in contact with gang members talking gang shit. I'm not. I'm not texting. I'm not in no gang politics. I go to work and I go home. We are watching modern day. This is modern day. With the FBI and J. Edgar Hoover and them did the Black Panthers and people like Fred Hampton. It's happening right now in our face. Y'all are witnessing it. Y'all see what I'm doing. I'm telling y'all, and I promise y'all, I am not a hypocrite. I am not involved in any gang activity. And I'm not saying this so they could think that I'm trying to play it over. They could think that I'm innocent. I don't do it. And they know it. They know it because if they investigate me, they know everything that I do. Y'all got my phone tapped. Y'all know everything. Y'all see the positive. Y'all see the meetings I have with my team and how we want to make a change and the plans that we implement and doing and the nonprofit I just started. And y'all see what I'm doing. It had nothing to do with any gang violence, anything gang activity at all. But you throw me in a RICO with people that I don't know in Savannah, Georgia, just because I live in Georgia? I'm telling y'all I'm innocent. Like, just because the feds charged you with something, don't think that maybe he did something. No, I didn't do nothing. I'm telling you, I didn't do nothing. I'm telling you, I didn't do nothing. Anyway, man, I'm off this. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop doing my roll calls. I'm not going to stop helping out. I'm not going to stop doing anti-gang violence. I just ask for that support back from the people because, you know, I need y'all to rally behind me. I need it. Like, y'all see what I'm up against.
You popped up. Well, that was, people see what happens when you don't agree, but you can still get the content. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. You was the most laid back, though.
Well, I felt like at the beginning part, I didn't have much to add. Yeah. I wasn't just going to talk for the sake of talking. Yeah. Like, this situation.
Now, what I did do... He definitely did.
Cool after that. But that first part...
He sits back, he paint narratives and saying weird things. I said, but when your situation was going on, I stood with you and gave you a lane that had a little light. I said, so... I called him. I said, I want to know why you saying the things you saying. He said, well, when 6ix9ine had this situation with the feds, they came to him to get a video. He said they went to Adam to get a document. I said, well, you guys got things that they want. So what would make you think that they would come to me? I don't have videos or documents. I said, and they did this after what? After they were incarcerated? Yeah, I said, you really think while they were running their investigation 2 years ago when he mentioned my name that they're going to come to me and run the risk of me figuring out is something bigger going on? I said, bro, you got to think about it. It's one thing if he would have been plotting to assassinate me or something like that. He just simply said, I want to whoop his ass.
Well, that's it.
That's it. Like, you know what I mean? You know, if somebody... And I had to remind him, the last time that happened, when I got a call about Jay Prince, I exposed it. And I told them people, which I haven't, me and Jay Prince, we do our back and forth on the internet, but he's never threatened me. I don't feel threatened by him. I don't think he feels threatened by me. He says his piece, I says my piece, and then we go on about it. So everything doesn't have to be goddamn World War III around here.
Well, you hit me out of the blue with a text message of someone claiming that there's some sort of Fed case with 6ix9ine. I'm somehow involved in it.
Man,
and I'm like, I've talked to this man for 30 seconds. I remember it was a strip club in L.A. You know, he had a bunch of security. I had my security with him. You know, he wanted to talk to me. I went up. He's like, yeah, see blood. I'm out here by myself. You see that blood? I said, that's what's up.
He told you that?
Yeah. And then, that was it. We separated. Then some fight broke out, and he got taken out of the
What
building.
the hell was that, 2018?
It was like, I don't know, maybe 3 months before he got busted.
Gotcha.
Maybe 2 months, something like that. That was it. That was my involvement with 6ix9ine. I've never spoken to him since.
Gotcha. That's crazy.
Ultimately, nobody called me about anything. I'm like, go ahead, post it up. I don't care.
Stuff, I tell people if it's somebody I got a rapport relationship with, when they send me stuff, I just screenshot it and send it. I make sure you see the number it came from, everything. A lot of it don't make sense. People, these, especially the trolls, they're like, it's a different level of it.
Right.
They'll send you something to see if you're just gonna go say it. Like, say if I'd have took that and read that on Clubhouse, right? Then they would have grabbed it, and then it would have been a narrative. You'd have saw 1,000 videos done based upon this rabbit hole theory. And that's just how it works. So I know, Vlad, you've looked up and seen some things and said...
Yeah, but you called me and said, did the feds raid your offices? I'm like, no. Not that I know of.
Another one.
Months later, they still haven't raided my offices, so it must be okay.
Somebody hit me the other day saying, no, it was Reggie, yesterday. Hey, did the feds take Adam to jail? I said, Reggie, that shit 2 weeks ago, old content, man. We did that to drive the people to the live stream. He said, man, the dude on my phone arguing with me, telling me, Wack said he got to sit there and turn. Bro, that is old. So it's like, I don't know, bro. I mean, it's getting watered down, but it's getting to a point where it's getting dangerous because people in the world are literally taking whatever they read, no research, and they run it with it. And then that becomes their conversation to people they know. So next thing you know, you got 20 different people going 20 different ways, having a conversation about something that they read as clickbait. If they would have pressed play, they would have saw something totally different. So now it just spreads. You know what I'm saying? And then that's what it is. So it's to a point, the truth is going to be whatever they want it to be. What's the truth is what you know it to be.
So, what is this about right here?
And your boy Blakey, he a Hydra informant. I got the paperwork.
Man, I ain't doing this shit with you today.
What you mean you ain't?
This is some bullshit, bro.
Hold on, bro.
This is old news. Everybody already knows
Aliens.
this. In the
Winter Soldier. James Buchanan Bone.
The paperwork doesn't show where his mind was scrambled like eggs for 70 years.
Hold on, bro. Suplexed the senator, drowned a diplomat, elbow dropped the UN rep through a limo route.
That don't tell the full story, bro. You were not there. You were not there, bro. You got opinions, bro. I got memories.
This ain't no fan theory. It's in the paperwork.
Paperwork don't mean shit if you wasn't there, bro. Bucky is a real dude. He jumped on the grenade for me.
If I'm being real, you don't want me to say this.
I don't give a fuck what you say, honestly, anymore.
All right.
Because it's all bullshit.
Make sure y'all record. We got content. He murdered Howard and Maria Stark.
Oh my God, bro.
You know, Tony Stark.
Of course you want to bring
killed. Yo. So listen, they leaked it, bro. You know, I got this big deal with the comic book people, and they leaked it. You know, me and Captain America, we got some things going on, bro. You know what I'm saying? I made it.
You made it.
Wack 100's in the comic books. Listen, man, it's called Paperwork Party. It's going down, man.
Right.
I got some stuff on Yosemite Sam, Daffy Duck. He did some telling, too.
Right. Well, shout out to Ace Vane and RLE Comics who put that together. When you hear it, because Ace Vane has done skits like this using my voice.
Yeah.
And he used AI to, I can't tell it apart. So when you hear this,
that's crazy.
Does this sound like you?
Yeah. And what's dangerous about that is next, Vlad, people gonna really have things where they like, Wack, there's you. That's not me. You know what I'm saying? For real, because he did that. How he did it, he did it. He created my voice. They put it with something. So imagine them just some audio talking about, we got Wack saying this or Vlad saying this. You know what I mean? So maybe they'll come up with some type of app to where you can put the vocals through so that regular people could detect if it's AI generated or not. Because some people will really believe that.
Well, I mean, when it comes to actual criminal charges, the police always need the source file. They can have a recording But if you can't show it on your phone where it was recorded originally, then it's unusable because who knows what, who did what. Like, for example, with the Keefe D interview, Las Vegas wanted to get my original footage. I've always refused. Now, can they use the interview? He could argue, it's been edited or whatever else, and since you don't have the original footage, whatever,
Gotcha.
Or maybe there's more stuff on the original footage. But I'm saying, when it comes to footage, back in the day, you need the actual mini DV tape and prove that it came from there. You can't just have a file that someone sent you and say, okay, this is what it is. So, yeah.
It's getting dangerous, bro.
Getting dangerous. I like that, though. I thought it was creative. I got a kick out of it.
That was funny as hell.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to him, bro. That was that. I need to get with him. Maybe we could do some. He could work with me on the Incredible Diapers cartoons we try to do.
Yeah.
That was creative.
Well, this Big U 43 count indictment is insane.
Yeah, but you know what's dangerous about that?
Yeah.
It's still a count not there.
What's the count?
The murder.
Well, no, that is...
Nevada kept that.
Oh, so that's not part of the Fed case? Oh.
So that's 43 counts that's excluding the homicide. Nevada's going to charge that independently as a state case. If you go look at it, all the charges to the right over there, you don't see the murder.
Well, okay, no, because when you go to justice.gov, right, which is titled, it's a press release, longtime Rolling 60s neighborhood Crips leader charged in 43 count indictment alleging murder, extortion, fraud, and tax crimes.
Go look at the 70-page. You have it? The 70-page indictment?
And it says, in the press release, it says, for example, in January 2021, Emily murdered victim identified as RW, an aspiring musician,
that's what they said. Listen,
so you're saying that's not part? Why do they include that in the press release?
But they said verbally in the press release, they also released 19 people, right? Mm-hmm. But only 7 or 8 are actually in the RICO indictment. So it looked good and it sounded good. But if you pull the indictment up, which we have it, is 75 pages of what they're actually indicting him on, the murder's not there.
Right.
Nevada's gonna
take that? Okay, so there's a RICO count, 2 conspiracies to interfere with commerce by robbery and extortion, Hobbs Act, 1 count of Hobbs Act robbery, 9 counts of attempted Hobbs Act extortion, 5 counts of Hobbs Act extortion. And the extortion part was weird to me because it's like, at no point did Big U ever ask for anything from me. You would think that I would be a perfect victim of extortion.
The extortion is not on you.
It's on what, a bunch of vendors?
It's on, It's on,
I'm not saying it's on me, but I'm saying, I've never dealt with anything like that with Big U. He's never tried anything.
It's going to be hard for him to get out of that because the feds were actually giving the victim the money to give to him.
Oh, so it was a setup. In a way.
Call it what you want. So that's the dude, Dale Morrison, whatever his name is. That's the guy that had the marijuana shop. Right? So all those counts, you look at all the wiretaps to where you see that happening. A lot of time it was a middleman, but they arrested him too. That's Sylvester Robinson.
Okay, so what is the prostitution charge, the interstate commerce for the intent that the individual engaged in prostitution?
That's the lady, Manny, whatever her name is, that he said as far as the paperwork that he was involved with. But they have the wiretap, him requesting that she brings females from LA to Vegas. So what it says is, I'm gonna pay you $1,000 to do that. So what she's kind of saying is that was her shutting down her business for the day. She does food catering to do that. But where it gets a little etchy is she kind of told the girl something about get paid before you get laid or some crazy shit in there, right? And then it's another wiretap where somebody else is asking him, yo, you know we can get some chicks from? And then he referred them to her, right? So you know, whenever you transporting female women from one state to another, any location from one another, and it's a description of, I want them to do this, do this, do this, do that, and then you got money involved, it's Diddy all over again. It's sex trafficking. The crazy part about it, when you look at this industry, bro, when you look at the industry, a lot of things that people thought was regular, normal, and innocent, you get what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, let's think about it. You know what I mean? You know, you meet somebody in Miami, and you like, yo, we finna jump on the PJ and go to the Bahamas for a day, and you put her on there, and she come with you, and y'all go do your thing in your suite, and you bring her back, right? They gonna say it's sex trafficking. So it's kind of like damn near, you gotta really be in a relationship to fly somebody to you. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's you gotta have some type of history of some type of something, because if you go right now on Instagram and DM, damn, you're beautiful. Oh, what's up? I've been following you. Yeah, I'm in LA. Where you at? I'm in Chicago. Well, listen, we got this party this week. Won't you come down? Well, I really ain't got, well, I'm going to send you a ticket. You send her a flight. She come down, and they say she came down, and you have sex with her that weekend and send her back. They going to say sex trafficking.
I think it's a hard sell to pull that off.
Oh, shit. That's the Mann Act of 1910. It's in the federal books.
I think it's a hard sell. I think if that's all they got, if that, like, for example, with Diddy, if that's all they got, he might actually walk free. And in fact, I heard he's getting bail. I'm not 100% sure of this, but I know someone that knows someone in the feds that told him that he's getting bail.
The only thing about Diddy thing that has me scratching my head, and you know I don't doubt nothing they know how to do, is I've never seen a one-man RICO.
Right.
I don't know if they charged him wrong. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they should have just charged him directly with whatever the immediate charge was, but he's under a RICO. You know what I'm saying? Like when you look at Big U's thing, it's like 7 or 8 other people.
Well, do you know the people? I mean, obviously, Loose Cannon, you know, right? But there's Sylvester Robinson, a.k.a. Vay, Mark Martin, a.k.a. Bear Claw, Tremaine Ashley Williams, a.k.a. Loose Cannon, who you know, of course, Armani Effigy, a.k.a. Monty, Frederick Blanton Jr., and Tiffany Shanrika Hines.
She's the only one I don't know. And Monty, I don't know. I know of. I don't know her, but everybody else, I know.
Okay,
everybody
so
else
you know
I know
Frederick, Mark Martin, so you know Vay, Bear Claw, and Frederick.
I know all of them.
Okay, so are the feds saying these are rolling 60s?
Definitely, that's what they're saying.
What are they accused of?
In the paperwork, they're accusing them of being part of the extortion and robberies and all this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, like Frederick, I know him, like he trained dogs. That's how I know him. He trains and he sells dogs. I don't even think he has a criminal history. You know, not at all. I don't think he's ever been to jail. I've been knowing him for a while. I know him from, he was little bullies. He trained, he breeds dogs. Sylvester Vay was shocking when I read the paperwork. I've been knowing him longer than everybody. I've been knowing him longer than Big U. I know him from football. He's like a coach for Pop Warner football. I know a lot of his nephews and stuff like that. So it was like to see him involved in that, and it looked to me like he was just kind of like he was going to pick the money up. But here goes the thing with Vay. I don't know if he was going to pick money up that he thought somebody was making payments on that old money, right? Because Vay's not an aggressive dude. Vay like 59 years old. He's up there, like late 50s. He's not an aggressive dude. He's not a gang member. He's not a gang member. Vay's not a gang member. So, you know, it's a difference if somebody's telling you, yo, man, dude got some money for me, go pick it up. And he making a call and say, I'm on my way to get that money, right? Because Vay's not muscle. You get what he's not muscle, bro. He's like, if you met Vay, you would get 0 threatening vibes from Vay. You know what I'm saying? So it was like to read some of this stuff, I think it was things going on that a lot of these people didn't know it was going on. and they was just like, hey, go over there and pick this up or go this or this, or this dude's supposed to have this for me. They really thinking that's what it is. But the whole time, because of what was going on, the investigation and the association, Mark Martin, Bear Claw don't say too many words, bro. You know, he's another football coach fanatic. Sits on the board to oversee the paperwork or whatever Big U got going on. I believe he has like a body shop. Looked like they bugged his body shop, right? But you know, you can't really control what somebody's coming to talk to you about. You get what I'm saying? I don't even think Bear Claw got it in him to make trips to Vegas driving. You know, he's been ill for quite some time. You know, he's been sick for quite some time. He pretty much does his little local thing. He doesn't say too much, so I think a lot of this is kind of like they grew up together, they know each other, and if something was going on, like if you told me, Wack, you going to Vegas? Yeah, mama, look, man, this dude over there owed me 10 grand. I was supposed to go, but I can't make it. Pick it up for me, and then when you come back out here Tuesday or whatever, I'll come by no jumper and get it for you, right? On some real shit. Well, no, for real though, right? That's happened. I've had people.
I get it, but if you call me to tell me that, I'd be like, nah, I'm good.
No. If you told me,
you told me, yo, this guy got 10 grand cash for me in Vegas. I know you're down there. Pick it up for me. And I'll go get it. I'll be like, nah, I'm gonna stay out of this one.
Yeah, but that's
now. If you told me about a check, I'm like, okay, cool. I'll grab a check. Here's a check.
But
no
that's
problem.
now, right? If I told you, Vlad, dude finna get on a plane, I can't make it. I'll be there this evening. He got a private flight going to New York or whatever. Are you at the Mandalay? Yeah, bro, if you downstairs, he gonna drop it off to you. I'm in route now, right? Let's just say it happened. Like, you're not thinking nothing about it. But then they say, like, because you picked it up, you part of whatever I did to get it.
Yeah, you're part of the conspiracy, yeah.
And at that point, it's kind of like, you know, with Vay, I don't know if Vay was really, because it's hard for me to believe because I know him. Like, that's just not him. You know what I'm saying? That's not him. That is, I've never heard Vay raise his voice. I've never seen him get mad. Unless a kid, you know, missed a tackle or something, or a block on the football field. So, you know, reading a lot of this, and I'm seeing all these people, and I'm still yet to see where all these other people, they got like 2 Asian people, a couple Hispanics. The other lady, I don't know where she plugs in at. I think maybe she was like on some accountant type situation or something going on. So, you know, it's a lot going on, but ultimately it's only like 7 or 8 people named.
Look, if he's convicted, Big U faces 20 years for RICO, 30 years for bank fraud, 20 years for the Hobbs Act, 10 years for the Mann Act, tax evasion, 5 years, not paying tax returns, another 1 year. Basically life at his age.
Yeah, because he's 58.
Yeah.
He'll be 59 on the 29th of November. Him and Game share the same birthday. So it's easy for me to remember. He'll be 59 this year. Even on the 20 year, even if he was to get a 20-year situation,
with the
that
feds,
puts him out at 75.
85%.
Put him out at 75.
75.
And he still had, the best case scenario, I thought about it, right? Let's say he was to get everything ran together up under a 20.
Yeah.
And let's say he goes to Nevada, right? Because even on the murder case, they have some things, and then they don't have some things. And even the
I just want to clear up, because multiple people have said this, like, oh, Big U, you know, the victim had Big U's DNA under his fingernails.
No, that was
wrong. So I just want to address it on Vlad TV. They're saying the DNA was inconclusive for Big U.
It was Tory Lane style.
Right, but definitely not the driver's DNA, but inconclusive on the Big U side. So it could be or it could not be, but that's a reasonable doubt.
Well, the driver was, the driver from LA to Vegas, they say, was Sylvester Robinson. Right, and so if you read the paperwork, Sylvester's, he stays at the studio. Right, now where the things they have with the reading the indictment paperwork is they have his phone going off at the studio, right? Then they have the witness, which is security guard, stating that he did arrive to the studio, him and Robinson. That's where they say he pulled his gun because he wasn't expecting anybody. That was Marley Marl's studio. Marley Marl's out with a chick at the Aria Hotel. He's on the strip. He don't think nobody's coming to the studio. He's not there, right? So this is why the security wasn't alerted that somebody was going to show up. So you got the security identify them getting there, but you got the phone going off. Where it gets a little weird at is you have the time the phone went off, they went to an Airbnb. The Airbnb ring camera catches Big U and the individual going into the Airbnb. So that creates a timestamp, right? That's the middle. They got the time the phone went off and the Airbnb. It also shows what time they left the Airbnb, and allegedly from that document it says the victim had his suitcase and everything with him. So what they did was, the next time the phone comes on, is back at the studio.
Right.
So it's a 48-minute triangle. So what they did was, the time to get from studio to Airbnb, they had that in like 15 minutes, right? So if that's in 15 minutes, if they'd have went straight back to the Airbnb, then you have 30 minutes, right? It's an 18-minute lapse. So what they've done was, they went from studio to Airbnb, where they can see the Airbnb time. And then they went Airbnb to where they found the body, how much time it takes to get there. And then they went from where the body was found back to the studio, where the phone came back on, right? So the Airbnb kind of is in the middle of it, because it kind of like puts everybody somewhere. I think they found whatever they say they found. I don't even think it was on the body. It might have been on the sock or something like that. Whatever they say. It's kind of like how they had Tory Lanez, his case. It could be, could not be. So when you got the security and you got the ring camera footage, right? That's the kind of like, But to you don't know, there's no gun. I don't believe they had a vehicle. You can fight the the DNA, and the motive is a little off, because this song
the motive was the biggest thing for it, because like, okay, so Big U killed a rapper nobody has ever heard of, doing a song nobody will ever hear.
Yeah, but they're playing some song and I'm listening to it, and I don't hear no. Me knowing.
You say you heard the song?
Yeah, they played the song. That is supposed to be, but it like references the big man with the money, something about a 38, but it doesn't really. It's no diss. But even if it wasn't,
so it's not even a diss song.
No, listen, it's not a diss song. I didn't hear no diss song.
Okay.
And
That's
even
crazy.
if it was a diss, right? I can see Big U lining him up with some of his little homeboys.
Yeah, doing it himself?
No, and I can
at age 50, what, 7 at the time? Ridiculous.
And then now they got this weird thing now, which it kind of, I hate to say it, it kind of helps his case, because now the narrative is the victim and Big U's son, and I'm gonna tell you where they got this from. In the indictment, it's a phone call allegedly from Big U to his son, right? And he says, don't talk about the murder of RW to nobody. Now, when people hear the son right now, the only son that people's looking at is the one that plays for the NFL, Dayon Henley, right? Big U has 3 sons, right? Dayon's not a gang member. He doesn't participate in street activity. Nice young man, watch him grow. But this is the part that's getting weird. Now they're saying, well, Big U's motive wasn't the rap song. It was that he found out that the rapper and his son, Dayon, were lovers. And he was scared that if this got out, he would be affected in the NFL. Now, there's a few key things. One, there's people that have came out in all sports that it doesn't affect.
Yeah, there was
But 2, let's get to the real part of it. I've been knowing this young man since he's been about 7, 8 years old, right? There's nothing feminine or nothing gay about Dayon Henley, right? So I don't know who started that one. Yeah, me and Big U got our problems, we got our issues, but whenever it came down to his children, I've been in situations since we've been at it where I've stepped up to the plate for his children. And you know what? I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. Maybe 2022, two-ish to 2023, in the heart of our beef, my daughter and her mother went to Crenshaw High to the celebrity basketball game. A bunch of people sending me pictures. Yo, Wack, man, you better get some people up there, right? So in the picture, you know what I see? About 8 feet, 5 feet behind them, guess who I see?
Big U?
Big U. And when I seen Big U was that close to him, you know what I knew? They were good. Regardless of what me and him going through, right? They were good. And this at Crenshaw High. This 2022, 2023. Like, people sending me photos like, yo, you better. But once I seen him in the picture in the building, I knew I didn't have to worry about it. Same way with his son, with his middle son, right? He was in the situation, I was in the building. And I made sure his son got home safe. So in this situation, they need to kill that. It's nothing. They said, oh, he wore his jewelry. Hey, it's grown men today that wear other men's jewelry. Watches, chains, medallions, I see it all the time. That doesn't make them to be lovers. If they homies, they homies.
Well, I mean, why would you want to kill your son's boyfriend? What's that going to do? Not make him be gay? Well, just find a new boyfriend.
Yeah, right? That's what I'm saying.
Unless it's like a older man molesting a young boy, then I get it. Now, if you say RW was 40 and his son was 12 or 15, then I can see why you might kill that guy. But, just as a father,
I know
a regular boyfriend who's the same age as your son, who cares?
I know all his children.
I'm just saying it's all bullshit.
All his children. I know all 3 boys. I know his 2 daughters. His one daughter is like, I think she's older than his oldest boy, vice versa. I know all their characters, all their demeanors. Dayon is a total opposite of everybody else. Calm, cool, collective. He ain't got nothing to do with the streets. He's athletic, right? His oldest son is probably the closest thing to being like Big U when it comes to just being quiet and subtle but explosive when he want to be. The middle son was always what I say our headache because he was just the busybody. You get what I'm saying? But none of them have ever displayed any signs of going that route. And it's kind of crazy that since he's in jail that they're saying that. He I believe he led his team in tackles at the Chargers. All he did was work hard his whole life to get to that playing field. It's a sad thing. His pops was going through what he's going through, and then that they're even tying him to something that has to do with somebody that was a close friend of his. But it's even most savage for the internet and somebody in the media that probably live in Maine somewhere to come up with this narrative that people right here are really running with. Right? People that say that like they cool with Big U, right? Me and Big U got our issues, but when it comes to certain things, especially involving the kids, they not there to be attacked like that, especially under false pretense. That's what's crazy.
Well, this whole thing about checking in has taken center stage again. And there's this video with Chris Brown and Big U that's been making its rounds. So basically, it's a young Chris Brown. This was like about 10, 15 years ago, something like that. And Big U was like, yeah, Chris has donated 500 pairs of sneakers, for this worthy cause for the kids. He's going to donate 500 more. Like, oh, shit.
This young man just gave 500 pair of tennis shoes. And he about to give out another 500 pair of tennis shoes.
No. This is public.
Chris Brown didn't know about the 500 more sneakers. Look at his face.
This young man has donated 5, and I believe, I could be lying, only CB would know. I believe that Big U might have been over-exaggerating, saying 500 pairs, a lot of goddamn pairs of shoes, right? And I think when he said, and he gonna do another 500 more, see, this was crazy. That video been out forever.
Right.
But prior to this, what's going on right now, it would have been no big deal. But now it's kind of like, you know, when I'm trying to like see what era this was with Chris. Was he running around with the homies or not? Because the homies ain't going for that. That ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, he been running with the homies tough for at least 10 years. He looked kind of young, but I did see the expression on Chris Brown's face like, oh, am I? You know what I'm saying? I don't believe Chris paid for the shoes. I believe maybe one entity donated the shoes, and Big U went and got Chris, a celebrity, to come pass out the shoes. It's a good look for Chris. You know, maybe it was a joint venture between, you know, whoever gave the shoes up. Could have been Shoe Palace or something, because Shoe Palace has always been great at it. I've called them at times and they just sent 50, 60, 75 pair of shoes overnight when we doing something for the community. But it looks a little treacherous.
I don't know. I watched the video. I didn't try to make a mountain out of a molehill.
I mean, what did you get from that? I mean,
I think Chris Brown was like, okay, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what, like $100 a pair, it's another $50,000 for Chris Brown, and
but
he was mega rich by this point.
Yeah, but I don't even think. But I'm gonna be right. I don't think Chris Brown donated nothing but his time and who he was, which is worth 10 times that. You know what I mean? Back then, even now today. I will say this, I've never known or heard of Chris Brown being pressed in this industry. Even prior to him associating with certain people in the streets, I've never heard of Chris Brown getting pressed. The Chris Brown that I know, you know, he can have a temper. You know what I mean? You got to really whoop Chris Brown ass, and even then, he ain't gonna do it. So, but, you know, if the right people that's tied to him come to him like, yo, man, dude, trying to do this for the kids, right? I think he would show up and do that. I mean, why wouldn't?
Weren't you, now that I think about it, weren't you somehow involved in the whole Chris Brown, Tyson Beckford back and forth?
No, I was involved in the Chris Brown Soulja Boy.
Oh, okay.
I was the one setting up the fight. I was setting the fight up. First it was Floyd and 50. Then I got involved with it. And Floyd like, you know what, Wack? He is kind of part of that tribe over there. I'm going to step back and let y'all do your thing. And you know, Soulja Boy signed his contract. He signed it. I had my man Frenchie with Chris. Chris said, man, Soulja Boy ain't going to sign it. He said, Wack's with him now. He's FaceTime and he signed it. You called him out. We doubled the money. We doubled everything.
How much was it?
Well, they was giving, they were giving Soulja Boy $1 million.
$1 million?
They was giving Chris Brown, I believe it was $2 or $3 million. So what we did, we guaranteed Soulja Boy $2 million. We guaranteed Chris Brown $5 million. We were doing it in Dubai. We had the private jets. And we had Verizon and a few other people coming in with sponsorships. We cut them into the sponsorships, and we cut them into the pay-per-view, right? So it was a great deal, but it really was a lose. It was a lose for Chris, because if he'd have got in there and Soulja Boy get off and get lucky, it's meme of the year. And then for Chris to get in the ring behind some street shit, being who he was as an R&B artist, he would have made a ton of money that day for that event, but in the long run, he probably would have lost a little bit too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
What did you think, like recently Chris Brown did a post asking his fans not to wear red bandanas as upcoming shows?
Let me tell you what I think about that. Some troll, here we go again, goes on the internet and says, everybody wear red bandanas, right? Now, Chris didn't have to say that, because if they would have showed up like that, he could have said, well, that ain't me that told him to do it. I don't even know these people. But he would have got to blame for it. The minute a melee, a fight, somebody would have got shot, stabbed, and killed. At this event, they would have blamed Chris. So I think Chris Brown, I believe he came on there and said, wear your brown do-rags in representation of him. I believe he did right. You know what I mean? I believe he's waking up and understanding, okay, these things that I may be a part of, associated with, right, isn't healthy for what my image and what my business is. So I believe he did right. He did the right thing. He gave them an option. Where's the Brown band at?
There you go.
Coming to see Chris Brown.
There you go. I remember I interviewed Tony Yayo recently, and we're talking about Big U and the whole checking in phenomenon and so forth. I think, didn't Nipsey Hussle refer to it as friendly extortion?
I don't know, because me and my people, me and my team, when it comes to checking in with us, it's really just making us aware that you're here, because the climate changes from the last time you may have been here. I check in everywhere I go. I was just about to go to Florida, and I can show you on my phone where I hit my Miami team, said I might be down there Friday. You know what he told me? Man, I got to go up top for my son's birthdays. Glad you let me know. So I'm going to let the team know that you're going to be here in case you need them. You know, Vlad, you know like I know. Sometimes you're moving with one, sometimes you're moving with three, depending on what's going on. I get a call like, yo, man, they got a mansion party. Such and such going to be there. He said he'll talk to you there. Then I might need to show up to that a little different, right? And, you know, we don't travel around here moving 20 people from LA to there. It gets a little expensive, but if you got a team that's in these different places, you just simply know they coming. I've never had, I got people from Chicago, from New York, Atlanta, Texas, everywhere. They'll call me. They may need a car. They need yo, Wack, you got to hook up on I need a Rose. And I'll call Platin. You know what I mean? Because I know the owners down there. Wack, we trying to get a hotel. You know, okay, well, call my guy over here. He always has an in on that. So, or where's a good place, man? My girl's trying to go to a spot. Hit the Waldorf or hit, you know, it's like the checking in that me and my team did is just kind of being a guide. You know what I'm saying? And helping the situation, you know, the comfort zone of it. I do it all the time, bro.
Well, I brought this up to Tony Yayo, and he said that at no point did G Unit ever check in. They just moved militant everywhere they went. They said whatever city they went into, they didn't tap in with the local gangsters or whatever.
I think New York niggas just don't tap in with anybody. Niggas just try to learn the geographics and try to move militant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rest in peace to a nigga like Pop Smoke.
They've always kept it themselves. They've always moved deep.
But what Tony Yayo not telling you is, it's a lot of times 50 had the Navy SEALs moving with them. Ex-military moving with them. So at that point,
fine.
You know, but it's been time before Uncle Murder was moving on the way he was. Murder would call me and be like, bro, I'll be down there this weekend. I got a strip club over here in West Hollywood somewhere. And vice versa. Murder, I'll be in the pest control video. That's in the Pink Projects of a Murder. Murder, listen, bro, we on the tour bus. Gang want to shoot this video tomorrow. And we come over there to the projects, right? He didn't just pop up. I called, bro. It could have been something going on. Their projects could have been hot. Could have been some shootings. Could have been some retaliations. Could have been some raids. He might have told me, Wack, it's a little hot over here, but let me call my people over here at this other spot. So, you know, checking in is not, when it comes to a lot of us, as far as my team, is just like it's like your people, man. You know what I'm saying? They got a relationship with you. You know what I mean? Jim Jones been coming out here for ages, right? And he go over there and he fuck with the homies. Rest in peace, Hot Dog. You know what I mean? And there's a few other homies over there he deal with. They don't charge Jim Jones. Jim in town. You know what I'm saying? When K. Slay come to town, you can pull the thing, bridging the gap. There's me and Slay. I got K. Slay in Compton, Watts, Pacoima, Long Beach, South Central. Me and him. God body stuff on, hat twisted, New York hat twisted. Papoose, all of them then came out here. It's no, you gotta pay us, you gotta do that. Is you a guest in our backyard when we got this thing. Whenever we go eat, if I'm in New York, if I pull my credit card out at Mr. Childs, and anybody don't slay, he go to Mr. Childs like it's McDonald's. He would really want to fight. Yo, what you doing, yo? You in New York. But if he's here, it's the same thing, right? So it's kind of like, you know, I don't know. I'm not in the business of charging nobody. I'm in the business of building relationships and communicate. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. My man Headliner Mike runs Live. This is real talk. When Headliner used to come out here and do his events in Hollywood doing BET weekend, I will put Headliner Mike on a text blast. Or 4 or 5 of them. Big View was one of them, right? Headliner Mike is my guy. You go to Miami, and they telling you Live is sold out, and you call me, Mike, Vlad in town, Wack, send him to the side door. Right, cool. But I put him on the blast. I said, I know I may not see you, brother, but hey, Headliner Mike's in town, our guy that runs Live, who always shows us love in Miami. Right, Mike, if there's anything you may need or any problems or issues you run into, just hit this blast. Now, he on the blast with South Central, the Valley, Compton, Long Beach, Watts, right? He didn't have to pay us nothing. We just making sure it's BET weekend. Bro is doing a big event. He may have a problem at the door. He may need, go back, cause y'all got somebody that I need this, I need that, or whatever. And then that's what it is. It ain't, I've never personally charged nobody that called me to tell me they're here.
I think what people are referring to is something like this. Me and you had a problem for a while.
Okay.
I check in with Big U and say, listen, can you handle this Wack situation for me? Now I'm indebted to Big U for the situation that me and you have.
Well, that's happening. That's happening with
and I've always avoided this because you know what's interesting, and I kind of touched on this when we did the podcast, and I'll specifically say what it's about since it's just me and you now. This was around the time that you and Mike Tyson had that podcast, and I did a post saying that the whole fight with Mike Tyson wasn't real, right? And you called me and said, Wack is upset over you doing that post.
Who did?
Big U.
Capped. I never saw your post.
Okay, that's what he said. He said that you were upset with me. And I said, well, what I understand is true, so I'm going to stand on it. He goes, okay, that was the end of that.
I mean, I don't know.
You don't remember that?
I mean, no, I don't.
I'm just telling you, but it wasn't
Did
like...
Did I say something under the post? Because if I'm upset, Vlad, I'm going to say something.
I think you were blocked at that point.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, you got to remember, I wouldn't have never been upset at the post because I created the post.
You've been upset at me over stuff that I've done.
No, Vlad, think about it. Have I ever mentioned that? I've never mentioned that to you.
No, you've never mentioned it to me. But that's why I'm bringing it up now. Because me and him had a phone call. So if his phone was tapped, this is what we talked about, okay? Let me just put it out there, right?
Yeah, and I wouldn't have been upset at anybody because the post was designed, if you're thinking back, Mike Tyson was kind of just starting his podcast.
Right.
People really wasn't paying it no attention. The post was designed to drive traffic to his podcast.
I get what you were doing. I was just saying it didn't happen.
Oh, but stop
but
right
I'm still
there.
saying it.
But stop right there. If you did comment on it, right?
Well, I did a post on Vlad TV.
Whatever
on
you
the news
did,
site, yeah.
but it was about that, right?
Right.
Then I wouldn't have been mad at you because now in the eyes of the people I'm working with, it's working. Because for you to go repost it, remember, I did that post, not because Mike is my enemy, not because I whooped Mike's ass. I did the post for one reason only, to drive traffic to Mike Tyson's podcast.
Okay, so
I don't know why did you I've never known I was mad.
No, he said he's mad at you about that, but you know, I'm not going to give your number to somebody without your permission. I said, well, I stand behind what I'm saying, and I don't see a reason for us to talk. He goes, okay, that's cool. I was just passing on the message, and that was that. That was the end of the conversation.
I don't know, but like I said, I don't know what other people had going on. I know me and my team. I can give you names. Kiddo Curry from Chicago. You know, Kiddo come out here, and I'm like, Kiddo, how long you out there? Man, long, where you staying? You know what, Kiddo, hold on. I go get Kiddo Airbnb, get him a car. Yo, bro, here, I want you over here in Sherman Oaks. I don't want you ending up somewhere you ain't supposed to be, right? When I go up top, Kiddo, we on our way, right? What you want to do? We want to go eat. You got to remember, when you're dealing with some of these jungles, the climate changes, bro. I may be in New York and then come back 3 months ago And they like, yo, Wack, I know you like to go to Amy Roots, but it's a little hot over there, bro. You may want to.
I love Amy Roots,
I love it too, right? But you know what I'm saying?
Best soul food in New York.
Yeah, you know, 116 Valetics.
Exactly,
that's
right.
a fact, right? So,
you know, but Uber Eats actually delivers it now.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, what I'm saying is,
save yourself the headache.
If I call and there's certain places that I like to go, I let my team know I'm in town. They know my movement, BPE, right? Big Perp Entertainment, my man $8. They cover me and my family and loved ones in New York. There's been times where I called in and they like, you know what, Wack? I know you like to stay at the such and such. Won't you move your hotel here? There's been a lot going on in the area. I don't even question them. You know what I'm saying? So, guys like PNB Rock, you can't put that on him. PNB had been out here like 5 to 7 years. He was living out here, right? What happened to PNB Rock could have happened to anybody. It could have happened to somebody that live on that block that's walking in there with $1 million of jewelry.
Yeah,
Now, sure enough, that here's where it falls in, right?
Apparently, according to Loose Cannon, him and Big U were there when it all happened.
But see, y'all gotta remember, Loose Cannon is playing the media. He's gonna say anything tied to something.
Right, he's been everywhere. When JFK got killed, I think he gave OJ the knife when he killed Nicole Ron Brown.
And see,
he was a getaway driver for the Menendez brothers.
See, now all of a sudden, right? Because Loose is in the situation. Now they want to. It goes from Loose Cannon been capping to no, he's telling the truth about this, right? We know goddamn well if Big U and Loose Cannon would have been in that place,
everyone would have talked about it.
Everybody would have
talked. Yeah, everyone would have talked.
There'd have been
If any celebrity of any sort would have been. If I was there, it'd be like Vlad was there. He set him up. Like, you know, if you were there, everyone would be talking about it. If Adam was there, everyone would be talking about it.
Nobody gets mad at Orlando Brown. Orlando goes up there for 3 hours and says all kind of heinous, a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, but Orlando, listen, I talked about this when I was on Adam's show.
You saying Orlando telling the truth?
Orlando's insane.
No, are you saying?
That's why I don't interview him anymore.
So are you saying he's telling the truth?
Who, Orlando? No, he's insane.
No,
he's crazy. He's a crazy person.
You don't think he knows what he's doing?
No.
Come on, man.
Have you been around him off camera?
Yeah, a time or two.
I've been around him off camera. He is crazy. Like, real life crazy. Real life crazy. He's a crazy person. You know the people you see talking to themselves in front of the liquor store? That's him with nicer clothes. That's it. It's a crazy person. That's why I don't interview him anymore. Okay, I know it would get views.
You think
my first and only interview I did with him, myself, I said, I'm not doing this anymore. This is a crazy person
but how long
I
did
could
you
take
interview him?
advantage of if I kept having him on.
That's what I'm saying. And I see people time and time again.
Jaguar Wright, a crazy person.
Another one.
A crazy person. Okay?
But guess what?
Gets a lot of views, I get it, but you're talking with a crazy person who says anything.
Well, who says? Hey, look, this thing of yours, because you wanted to go to this, right? It first started off because it was unique to hear the people that come from a time and era talk about certain things and give the intricate details that people didn't know, right? Now it's went to fictional podcasting to who can just say the most heinous stuff to make you laugh or create a conversation.
Right, like a Charleston White.
So when Loose Cannon, like these conversations I hear Loose Cannon say on the thing, he's never had those conversations with me. So which led me to believe he's just performing on the camera. Like, he's never told me, hey, bro, boom, 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 boom. So when he gets on the camera and says things, bro, come on. He said, now I send him to academics. Loose Cannon said he's at a Diddy party, which I believe Loose Cannon's never been to a Diddy party.
Of course he's never been to a Diddy party.
He hears two men. Now follow Loose. In this particular situation, he sacrificed his own self. He said, I hear two men moaning and groaning. Now, Vlad, let me ask you. If you're a heterosexual man, a street dude like Loose Cannon, two men in a room moaning and groaning, it ain't your house. Does he usually walk the other way or kick the door in? Right, you know what Lou said? Because he know what the people want to hear, I kicked the door in.
Okay.
And I see Puffy and Carl's Rizzo. Let me tell you how diabolical this is. Look, Loose Cannon being who he was, and I didn't build him. He on his own now. He spread his own wings, right?
Okay.
But TMZ calls Winslow and asked him. Listen, from that, they called Carl and asked him publicly. Calls Winslow saying, I don't know none of these people. He's pleading.
Wait, wait, hold on.
They called Carl Winslow, bro.
Are you saying the Carl Winslow rumor started with Loose Cannon?
Yeah.
Because you do know that when Dave Chappelle hosted Saturday Night Live, he referenced the Carl Winslow.
Cannon.
You're telling me Dave Chappelle is quoting Loose Cannon on Saturday Night Live. That's what you're telling me.
That's what I'm listen, I said Loose. I tricked academics. I'm sorry, bro. I say act. Hey, bro, I want to come do the show. I got my man Loose Cannon. They promoting a reality show, Batty and the Beast. Boom, 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 right? He's like, all right, come on. So I say, look, Loose, you and your wife get on the plane. Here go the address. Right? Just show up, tell the lady at the counter you're going to this suite, whatever, right? Boom. So Loose, so they get there and Wack hits me. Wack, what up? I said, what up, bro? I said, man, shit, I missed my flight. I can't make it. Wack started laughing. You know we bullshit each other, right? He said, all right, Wack. This better be interesting. So he sits down with Loose Cannon. And sure enough, they're talking about the reality show. And somehow, I guess Loose is good about knowing when, okay, this shit is getting kind of boring right now. Let me pick it up. So he said, yeah, just like when I was at the Diddy party, and I heard the man moaning, and I kicked in the door, and it was Puffy in there, and he was banging Carl Winslow out. That's where it started. From there, it went to Dave Chappelle show. They TMZ called Carl Winslow coming out of stuff and asked him. Right? So what I'm saying is, bro, Vlad, if me and you went on a rampage for 3 days saying a bunch of crazy shit, how many people would believe it, bro? We just don't do it. Because in our mind, we didn't build our platform based upon being credible, and we don't want to jeopardize tarnishing our credibility. Loose coming into this podcast thing or this interviewing thing in a different era, it's about shock value. Loose playing on shock value. What could I say to get you talking? And goddamn it, it made it to the stage with Dave Chappelle. So you can't say what he did in his eyes, because he's chasing something else, it wasn't working. Meek Mills, I'm looking at him like, so you telling me Meek Mills got 15 people with him? One of them that I know, TV Bay, he's a gangster. And he saw you and just took all his jewelry off and said, here, you can have it.
Right, because Meek Mill getting kidnapped was part of the whole... Well, no, that's what Loose Cannon said. That's not part of the RICO case.
No.
It's just something he said.
That's what I'm saying, but guess what?
The numbers don't even add up. 50,000 seem pretty low for Meek Mill.
Meek Mill is responding to it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
No, I'm seeing it.
So again, Loose Cannon's antics on what he set out to do.
Yeah, they're working.
Is that, see, what you doing, what I do, and what Adam do, and what Act does, is the total opposite of what Loose does.
Right. The truth, yeah, right.
And that's what it is. So now, look, bro, in that damn RICO indictment, there's a whole thing in there. Now this is what I'm curious about. Did the victim give a statement that this robbery happened before Loose Cannon said this on No Jumper? You get what I'm saying? Or did they hear Loose Cannon say this on No Jumper and double back to the victim and ask him, hey, is there any truth to this? You get what I'm saying? Because if the victim gave this statement and this description before Loose said it, that's one thing. Now at that point, Loose Cannon is collaborating a crime. But if this victim said it after Loose said it, then how we know the victim ain't capping? You get what I'm saying?
The whole thing is a mess. And like I said on the No Jumper podcast, I have had Loose Cannon pitch to me multiple times, and I've always said no.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah, that's
he's DM'd me. Other people brought him to me. What was it? Freeway Ricky at one point was like, hey, Loose Cannon wants to talk to you. I said, no, I'm good, respectfully. I got nothing against him, but I'm cool.
It ain't your type of thing.
It's not my type of thing. There's way too much drama, especially after the No Jumper brawl with the pants being pulled off and all that. I said, I don't want anywhere. I don't want this anywhere near
Talking
me.
about when they stripped me?
Not you, but yeah.
They said it.
They said it was you, right. Exactly. Well, Keefy D, during the process of trying to get his case thrown out, actually volunteered multiple documents of him cooperating with the feds since 1998. Did you know about this?
Yeah, that's not a secret.
Right.
It's in the book, the Murder Rap book. Greg Cadens exposed that in the Murder Rap book.
Right. So, in 1998, 2 years after Tupac's murder, he cooperated with the feds and said that Reggie killed Biggie. He said the composite drawing looked like Reggie, you know, like the Muslim drawing thing. He said that Suge Knight took over the drug trade in North Compton, and after he went to jail, Reggie Wright took over the drug operation. And Reggie had him and other cops kill people for Suge. Sergeant Reynolds and his dad were some of the killers. They say they killed a guy named Bruce Richardson for Suge after, I guess, Bruce had beaten up Suge. And other people that worked for Reggie Wright's drug operation were Mob James, Buntry, Trayvon Lane, the guy named Flip. That was the first.
Those were all
the first bunch of cooperation. Then in 1999, 1 year later, cooperated again, said that Orlando didn't kill Tupac, but thinks that Diddy killed Tupac and Suge killed Biggie. So he's basically cooperating about everyone. So that 2006 audio tape came way later.
Diddy was the shooter in the Cadillac?
No, but he was responsible for killing Tupac.
Well, who he say was in the Cadillac?
That was all. I don't think the Cadillac was really